Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and this is it, guys. Welcome to the final movie preview, not just for 2019, but also for the decade overall. And once again, guys, it is just me hosting this time. I am going to have a lot more people this time around. I got a lot of guests for this one that you guys just saw in that intro and things like that. But I really like the way last year's turned out. I thought structurally it turned out really well. So I'm really not changing anything this time around. The only real modification is that there is no film this year that I'm talking about solo. There's at least, there's at least one person with me for every single film, so that's kind of nice. But if you guys don't know the way this works, if you didn't watch last year's December movie preview, essentially the way this is going to go, I'm introducing every single film, but it's going to cut back to me and some guests, talking about the film in question. We filmed this throughout the entire month of November. Worked very hard on it, and I'm very excited for you guys to see it as well. This week of December, this month definitely looks like it can be potentially very strong. Not as strong as I think some of the other Decembers have been, but that's really just because of how strong like October and November was. December might not be as strong in comparison, but there's definitely a lot of films that I'm still very excited for, so we're just going to jump into right now. But of course, before we do, I am going to introduce each of my guests one by one, starting off with this man who really has been me throughout this entire thing ever since I started the movie previews. He's been stuck with me, he's been here with me, and you guys have been stuck with him ever since, and things like that. Started off back in 2015, and now here he is for the final time this decade, of course, essentially also operating as my co-host for this one, because he's in almost every single movie we're talking about. He insisted this, not me. This was not my decision. He was the one who wanted to do this. But either way, here he is, Auburn Wanderer.
Hey everyone, it is me, y'all's favorite ginger, here for the final movie preview of the decade.
Yes.
Isn't that fucking insane? I mean, I've been doing these since 2015.
Yeah.
So I've been doing it for
back when you did them on your own and you wore a tank top in fucking March.
Oh yes, classic moment, iconic moment.
Oh yeah, great stuff.
But yeah, so I just want to say thank you, Kevin, for having me on throughout this decade. I appreciate it. Happy holidays, y'all. And we got some film A's to talk about. Yeah.
Next up here, we got my mortal enemy himself, Jackson Fulcher.
Hey everybody, it's so great to be on another movie preview, the last one of the decade. Gnarly! That's totally tubular. I gotta thank my main man, Kevin Flake, for having me on since 2017. It's been such a blast these past 2 years being on these movie previews, except for the one July of 2018. Ooh, we don't talk about that one though.
No, not good.
Or even my first time when Kevin's internet kept cutting out and then you just left me and the other guest sitting there forever. That was also really fun, man. So thanks for having me again for the last one of this decade and of 2019. So excited to talk about these films and to make fun of you the entire time.
Yes, thank you, Jeff from Total Drama Island. I very much appreciated that.
Oh, gnarly.
Next up, we have someone who wasn't in any movie previews last year, but this year he made his big return, and he is, in fact, back for this one. That, of course, being Adam Seth Rogen Haskell.
Fuck you. Just fuck you, Kevin. Fuck you. I hate you.
Wow, that's a very, very good intro.
Yeah. What? And yeah, hi, my name is Adam Haskell. Yeah. That's all you need to know about me.
With the best profile picture of all time.
That's all you need to know about me, that my name is Adam Haskell and that I hate everything. And yeah.
All right. Next up, we have someone who was new this year, but he, has become, is going to become a regular on, of course, this segment. That, of course, being Timothy Anderson.
Hey, Kevin, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. I cannot wait to do this. Let's get this started.
And next up, we have a guy who's very excited for a lot of films in December, especially the ones he's introducing with me. That, of course, being Andrew Hayes.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Skinny Penis, back here with another movie preview. It's always fun doing these. I can't wait to talk about all my favorite movies coming out in December. Wonder what they will be. Who knows? Let's find out.
Definitely the ones you're talking about.
Yes.
Those are all the ones you're hyped for. And next up, as if you guys haven't seen enough of him already this year, because he totally hasn't been on my channel too much at all, here he is, FilmFan0599.
Hey, what's up, you guys? FilmFan0599 here again for the 1 millionth movie preview I've been on this year. Oh, God almighty.
As if you haven't been on enough already.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm very excited to do this December one. We got, I've got some exciting movies to talk about here. I'm not as excited as I have been. There's only a few movies that I'm like really anticipating, as hence the ones I'm talking about, except for one because this fucker here forced me to talk about that one.
We'll get that later.
But no, yeah. Thank you for having me on. I very much appreciate it. Can't wait to do it.
And next up, we have yet another newcomer who isn't going to be in this a lot, but it was at least able to get him for a few movies, so we are very happy about that. Here he is, of course, Cam Wade.
Hey guys, it's Cam Wade from Cameron Waffer YouTube channel here, and I'm here to be presenting 2 films for the December movie preview alongside these beautiful and horrible people. I want to thank Kevin, and fuck you Kevin, for having me on. And I'm sorry for not showing my face, but this quality on this camera is awful, and I thought I'd do you all a favour and show you a lovely, pure boy. So, yeah, I'm going to be presenting 2 films. Yeah.
And finally, someone who is usually in these very sporadically, but he is, in fact, of course, back this year. And here he is, of course, 22 Tiger Dude.
Hello, this is BB Beaver Beaver 10, BB Beaver Beaver 10, BB Beaver Beaver 10, BB Beaver Beaver 10. But in all seriousness, hello everyone. This is 22 Tiger Dude, you know, with the tiger, with the power. And thank you, Kevin, for bringing me on for the last movie preview of 2019. I know, as usual, I will not be in here for that much, but you know what? For the time I am on here, thank you for bringing me on. It should be a whole ton of fun. Let's go!
All right, so with all the introductions out of the way, it's now time to start off with the first movie here. And the first movie we're going to be talking about here is one that I am shocked is still coming to theaters, and I'm sure many of us are very highly anticipating, especially the man that's going to be talking about with me, that of course being Andrew Hayes, here to talk about Playmobil, the movie.
I need to find my little brother. I feel different! I've got super strength! Someone's taken him.
With my connections, I could find your brother no problemo. One of them is the world's greatest secret agent.
This way. Over the last several months, a number of citizens vanished into thin air.
Do you think it's the same people who took my brother?
I'm 100% almost sure.
So Playmobil, the movie. Holy shit. This looks all kinds of awful. I mean, this is a film that I know is supposed to come out like back in August, and then it got delayed. And honestly, I'll be surprised if it actually does come out on this date. I think it is coming out on this date, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does end up getting delayed, just because of the fact that this movie just looks so bottom of the barrel and dumb, and just everything about it just looks so obnoxious in that way. And similar to Arctic Dogs last month, it just seems like one of those films that like would be like a direct to DVD or like a straight to Netflix film or something like that. This does not seem like the kind of film that would get a theatrical release. And also, I am going to address the elephant in the room. Yeah, this entire thing basically just feels like a Lego movie ripoff. And to make matters worse, it basically looks like what people thought the Lego movie was going to be. There really is, at least from the trailer, no discernible plot here. It's just these two people, they get sucked into this animated world. They got to be protected by Daniel Radcliffe, and there's a bunch of references. And that's kind of all this looks like it's going to be at this point, which is unfortunate because Lego Movie showed that, like, you can do something interesting with this world. You can do something legitimately creative, but this just looks really generic. It looks really dumb. The jokes don't look like they're going to work at all. And the cast here is actually really talented. So, like, I don't understand why this cast, like, signed on to this. Like, Anya Taylor-Joy, I think, is a phenomenal actress. Daniel Radcliffe is, like, a great actor. Gabriel Bayman, I think, is a really good child actor. So I have no idea why they all end up signing on to this bullshit, but this just looks really dumb. Really horrible way to start off the month, I must say. And yeah, definitely one of my least anticipated, maybe my least anticipated of the entire month, to be honest with you. But what do you want to say, Andrew?
I gotta say this. I chose this movie. I personally picked this movie to
for some reason.
For some reason, I don't know why. I actually had forgotten that I had picked this movie.
Well, you said you wanted to pick all the shitty ones, so
I did, yeah, but I had forgotten that this was one of them.
Yes.
And, so I watched the trailer about 5 minutes before we started this, and
wow, very prepared, very prepared.
Yeah, shut up! Let me talk. This is my time. You had your time, stupid.
All right.
And
fair enough. Go ahead.
This honestly looks like a steaming pile of shit.
It does.
This looks like Emoji Movie bad. I know Jackson loves the movie, and I apologize for talking about his favorite movie ever. But yeah, no, this movie looks like that bad. At least like Arctic, I felt like looked like that looked bad, but I feel like that looked so bad it could be like funny or something,
Yeah.
This looks like straight up garbage, like.
Yeah.
And like you said, like, why are all these talented people in this movie? Why? Why is this movie a trend? Who knows?
I don't know, man.
This probably is gonna bomb hard at the box office.
Oh yeah.
I will laugh my ass off.
So if you guys are somehow looking forward to Playmobil the movie, I guess look forward to it. Comes out this Friday, December 6th. I can't really think of too many people that are looking forward to it, but hey, it's coming out. Tickets are only like $5, so go nuts, I guess. But also coming out December 6th is a film that I actually am very excited for, and here to talk about with, of course, Jackson Fulcher. That, of course, being A24's next big, probably, hopefully, horror classic in Fabric.
960 7 and 7 8 and 8 6 and 6 and stop.
As promised.
Thank you.
You look different.
Oh my God, what's that? That looks nasty. Maybe just the washing powder. I hope it isn't catchy.
How's it going, Sheila?
Everything's fine.
What happened to your hand?
Washing machine went bananas.
In Fabric overall, this was a film I really didn't know all that much about, but thanks to the person that is talking about this film with me, I actually do know a lot more about this film now. I finally watched the trailer, and I'm definitely excited for this one. I think this looks very intriguing for sure. It looks very psychological in the way, and this whole concept of like this woman, she buys this dress, and then it starts kind of like destroying her like on the inside. I think is a really interesting idea. It looks like this film's going to get very weird, and I'm not too surprised because I heard the director's previous film, The Dukes of Burgundy, is a very strange film, but it's definitely the kind of weird that I am all there for sure. I saw quotes in the trailer saying like, oh, this is like David Lynch or something like that, and that always has me hyped for sure. And just in general, I think this looks like a very suspenseful and very thrilling film that looks like it's going to do something very different. Of course, it's A24, always, am down for something from A24 A24 because they always deliver. Well, most of the time they end up delivering. And I think they're going to deliver, especially in terms of horror. I think they're going to deliver another really solid feature here for sure. I think this definitely looks, like I said, very thrilling. Definitely seems like it's going to be something that definitely could get under my skin. And I'm overall very excited to see how this film turns out.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this movie because it honestly does look kind of terrifying. I mean, you got these famous actors with CGI fur on them, and they're singing to this Broadway play.
Okay, that's enough of that.
Oh, wait, this is the wrong film. My bad. I thought we
haven't even gotten to that one yet, you piece of shit.
I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about the greatest horror film of the year, Cats. In Fabric, I found out about this movie. I just saw the trailer like in my YouTube feed, and I was like, "Ooh, what's this?" And I found out it was A24, and I was like, "Ooh, well, I better watch it then." And it looked so bizarre and looked so bonkers that I was completely on board with it. I'm so interested in horror films that are not afraid to go really, really weird. And I hope that this movie has a reason for that. I'm not familiar with the director's last film. This is a first for me, like experiencing him as far as just this trailer goes. But I hope it all has a purpose. I hope it all makes sense. Like it'll be weird, but it'll like still kind of make sense to you. Like, there'll be a reason for everything. I think it looks well shot. I think it looks well acted. I think the premise is so out there, but it could lead to something really special. So I'm really excited for this. I'm so excited whenever an A24 horror film comes out because it's always weird AF.
Yeah. So if you guys looking forward to In Fabric, it does, of course, come out on December 6th. I believe it's only going to be on VOD and probably released in a few theaters, but definitely check it out. A24 pretty much always delivers when it comes to horror films like this, and this could potentially be another really great, a very good hidden gem in there for sure. And the next one we're going to talk about also on December 6th is another one that I am hearing tons and tons of praise about. And, tons of people are talking about it for on the awards circuit and things like that. And it's a film that I'm very excited to be talking about here once again with Andrew Hayes, but also with, of course, Auburn Wanderer in his first of many appearances throughout this, because like I said, he took a lot of films to talk about for sure. That, of course, being Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
L'homme intéressé par ma fille est milanais. Nous partons là-bas si le portrait lui plaît. Il a épuisé déjà un peintre avant vous.
Que s'est-il passé? Je ne sais pas.
Portrait of a Lady on Fire. This is one that I've been interested in for a very long time now. I've heard a lot of praise, film festivals and things like that. And I think this could be a very interesting film. It definitely looks like it could be, a typical period piece for sure, but it also seems like it's going to do a good job of talking about, different portraits that this woman makes and why she makes these kind of art designs and things like that. And that's something that I'm definitely very interested in, but also getting into this forbidden relationship that the film is diving into. I think it definitely has a lot of potential for sure. I've heard a lot of praise about it, like I said, with all festivals and TIFF and things like that. Everyone's been pretty much praising this movie. And again, I don't have a ton to say about it or anything, but I definitely do think it has potential. That being said, the trailer isn't really that great. It's another one of those foreign trailers that just doesn't really excite me in that way. It doesn't do a lot to get me excited for the film. It's more just I'm excited for it because I've heard so many people endlessly praise it, and I think it has a lot of potential. But the trailer itself didn't really do a lot to sell me on the movie, but it is one that I still am definitely looking forward to. I do think it has a lot of potential. The cinematography here definitely looks amazing. I've heard that the main actress gives one of the best performances of the entire year, so it's definitely a film that I'm looking forward to, but one that I wish I had just a little bit more to say about.
Well, I must say, I think this movie looks really, really good. The reviews for this film have been insane. A lot of people putting this in number one of the year, giving it really high ratings and stuff. And it's crazy that Neon, is coming to nowhere. I believe a few years ago they had I, Tonya, right?
Yeah, they did.
And now, this year they got freaking Parasite, which was an incredible movie, and now they have this coming out.
This one's Neon too. I forgot about that actually.
Yeah, so it's
that's crazy.
It's really, really cool. I'm really excited for this. I think that this film, you know, the way it's about, you know, this woman coming in and do a portrait of this lady, and like, you know, she has to do the portrait while the lady who she's making the portrait of can't know, you know, like I believe it's for a wedding portrait or whatever. And it seems like there might be some type of like, you know, romance thing going on. It just seems like it's going to be like this like really interesting character study. And I feel like the idea of like the portrait and, you know, is going to be this kind of like, you know, like idea of like how like you view yourself and like, you know, beauty or whatever, but like it seems like it's going to be done in a really, you know, like artistic way,
yeah, for sure,
you know, with really interesting, you know, storylines and characters and, you know, drama, and I'm really excited for this. I think it looks really good.
All right,
it's my turn to talk about Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Now I to have seen this trailer. I think I actually saw it before Parasite, which actually makes sense. Now that I'm finding out now that it's by the end, so it makes sense why I saw the Portrait of a Lady on Fire trailer before Parasite. And I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't a fan of the trailer. It just looked this movie just honestly looks boring to me. It just doesn't look like it's my type of film. And I can't say that I'm excited for it, which kind of sucks because why would I not want a movie to be good? I'm looking at you, Kevin, because I know you wanted the Emoji Movie to be bad.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's not like I was one of the few who was like, you know what, guys, Lego Movie wasn't all that bad, so maybe Emoji Movie can surprise us, and it didn't at all.
Shut the fuck up!
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm dying now. Oh God.
Stop dying, first of all.
Hold on. I need to compose myself.
My God.
All right. Yeah. No. But okay. So, Portrait of a Lady on Fire. It just the trailer didn't grab me like I wanted it to, or as I hoped. And you know, I don't know if I'm gonna see this one. Mainly because I don't know if I'm gonna have the time to see it because it is getting down towards the end of the year, and I have a lot of stuff to watch, a lot of stuff. So
yes,
I don't know if I'm gonna see this one.
So if you guys are excited for Portrait of a Lady on Fire, it does come out on December 6th, but it's a bit of a strange release. It's only going to be like a 2-week showing, I think, in like New York and LA, and then you're not going to be able to see it again until like Valentine's Day. Very odd release for sure, considering how much praise it's gotten, but either way, if you guys want to check it out, you know, look forward to it then. I'm sure it's going to be like, you know, online and things like that for like screeners and all that kind of stuff, but definitely try to seek it out if I've heard tons of great things about it for sure. And the next film I'm going to be talking about is yet another film I'm going to be talking about with Auburn Wanderer. That, of course, being Daniel Isn't Real.
Have you ever seen things like this before?
I had an imaginary friend when I was a kid. His name was Daniel. He was my best friend. He was my only friend.
It's kind of a strange notion, but maybe you should try to connect with that part of yourself again. You needed my help.
So Daniel Isn't Real overall, this is one of those films that I really didn't know anything about, except for the fact that it was coming out this month. I didn't even really know it existed, but I found it and I watched the trailer, and I'm a bit mixed with this one. On one hand, I think this could be a very interesting story of this guy that clearly has had this you know, an imaginary friend, but also kind of like facing his past demons and things like that and trying to put that aside. And I think in that aspect, it seems like it's going to handle that really well. The cast certainly looks like they're going to do a good job. But then on the other hand, it looks like it's going to be handled really over the top as well. And that's where I'm a little bit more skeptical about it. The one thing that does give me hope is that it's from the producers of Mandy, which you guys know how much I adore that film for sure. And I can't, I'm, you know, that's one of those films where I've been anxiously waiting to see what Panos Cosmatos does next. He's not directing this movie or anything, but knowing that it's from the producers, that definitely has me a little bit intrigued for sure. And like I said, I think the cast here overall does look pretty good. It's just the execution that looks a little bit wonky to me. I think if handled right, this could be a really good film about, dealing with your psyche and trying to put away some of those more childish things that you've clinged on to. I think that's kind of what this film is trying to drive at, is like, this is a guy who he clearly has some sort of anxiety, so his imaginary friend is still following him around and things like that, and he's trying to like take over him. And I think that could be really well done. Or it could just be a really generic horror film, and I hope that's not the case. I hope it finds a nice, happy medium. I'm actually hearing really great things about it, so I feel like it is going to be pretty good. But just like I said right now, a little bit skeptical on this one.
So Daniel isn't real. You know, what I think is interesting about this one is, like, I had this idea that, like, as a kid, this is, what's his name, the main character?
I don't fucking know.
Okay, well, this guy.
Luke.
So, like, Luke, like, he's had this, like, imaginary friend, Daniel, since he was a kid, but he kind of, like, stored him away, and, like, he was, like, his only friend over. So he comes back. And the thing I find interesting about it is, like, now he's trying to get into the world because this, like, therapist or counselor, is, like, trying to get him out there. So he goes into the world now, and he, befriends, Daniel again. And what's so interesting about it is, like, Daniel represents, like, his deepest desires in a way that he's, like, afraid to show out. And so, like, he's
right.
like meeting these girls and stuff, but then, like, Daniel is, like, influencing him too much, where, like, it's essentially just a subconscious, but, like, it's making him, like, really go out there and do some things, and it becomes like a horror movie, I assume.
Yeah,
I think it looks good. Like, like the trailer, like, made it look okay, but I think it has potential to be good.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you on that.
It just looks it kind of looks a little bit silly at points, which, like, is I don't know. I mean, it clearly is taking itself seriously. It's just, like, the execution that's a little bit But I only watched, like, 2/3 of the trailer because, like, I was like, I don't want to watch this. I feel like it's gonna spoil something. But yeah,
it did.
Yeah, so I just stopped watching. But yeah, I think it has the potential to be good. It has a really interesting concept. Yeah, so is this one's a Shudder movie, right?
Yes.
Okay, well,
yes.
I do have Shudder, so I will watch it.
Well, it's also going to be on VOD, so.
I mean, yeah, but I have Shudder because of Croup Show.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So I mean, yeah. Yeah, so that's that.
So if you are looking forward to Daniel Isn't Real, it once again does come out on December 6th. Lots of stuff coming out on December 6th for sure. But the next film we'll be discussing is one that I have been hyped for a very long time now. And I mean, Netflix going from a very small studio that makes pretty much just shit movies to possibly making some of the best movies of the entire year. And this one definitely seems like it continues to show how it can occasionally be a force to be reckoned with. Here once again with Auburn Wanderer again, but also once again with Jackson Fulcher. We are, of course, going to be discussing Marriage Story.
Most people in my business, you're just transactions to them. I like to think of you as people.
Oh, okay, good.
You remind me of myself on my second marriage.
Baby, I'm amazed the way you love me all the time.
Part of what we're gonna do together is tell your story.
Did you dye your hair again?
No, this is me. You don't like it?
Is it shorter? I prefer it longer, but...
How are you doing?
So, Marriage Story overall, I am obviously very hyped for this film. And I mean, how can I not be, considering that this is one of those films where ever since, even before, I would say, the praise before TIFF and things like that, everyone was like hyping it up and things like that. Noah Baumbach right off the bat is a director that I really do adore. I think that he has made some really fantastic films for sure. I mean, so much just excellent work for him that he's turned out throughout the years, whether it's Meyerowitz stories or, other of Mistress America. That's another one that I really love that he's done. He just really does a great job with these kind of slice of life kind of films that are very effective and things like that. And Marriage Story really seems like it could very well end up being his masterpiece. It really seems like he's throwing everything at the wall here. He really is just going all out in crafting what looks to be a very emotionally powerful film, but also one that looks very real in that sense. And that's something that seems like it's really going to work about this movie. Nothing about this really seems like acting. I mean, Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson look like they're going to give some of the best performances of the entire year for sure. I mean, it just seems so raw and powerful, and I just think this has tons of potential for sure. I've heard so much praise about this one. It definitely is going to be an uncomfortable watch. I've heard many say that. But again, I think that's just going to add to the realism of it all. You know, these are two people that are going through a divorce, and that's a very hard thing to go through. And I think this film is really going to show just how taxing of an experience that really is, and what that really can do to someone, and how that can not just disintegrate their marriage, but also how it's going to disintegrate all the other relationships around them because of what's going on. And I think this film is really going to dive pretty deep into that. Aside from Adam Driver and ScarJo, you have Laura Dern. You also have Alan Alda, Ray Liotta. I mean, just a really stellar cast overall. And Randy Newman at the helm as well, doing the score. I mean, I'm so excited to see what he ends up doing here. I've already heard a little bit of what I loved about Nicole, that score that that little track that was released, and it definitely sounds like Randy Newman for sure. Like, there are points of it where it very much kind of sounds like something you'd hear in like a Toy Story film or something like that. But I think he's going to apply that to a more realistic setting. And I'm excited to see what he does do here. Just everything about this film just has me so hyped. And again, similar to Irishman, this is the kind of shit that Netflix needs to be doing. This is exactly the kind of stuff I want to see them acquire more of. You know, this seems like a film that is probably going to sweep a lot of the Oscars. I can definitely see it running away with them for sure. I've heard Adam Driver definitely is a lock. Most people think he is going to win Best Actor. I think he definitely has a lot of potential for sure. And just overall, I am so incredibly hyped for this film, and definitely one of my most anticipated of the entire month for sure. So I can't wait for this one. Yeah, this is definitely one that I wish I could see in theaters for sure. I think it's definitely a film that, again, it's really cool that Netflix is putting movies on theaters, and this definitely seems like one that could do that. So similar to Roma last year, I tried to stay away from like trailers and things like that. The only ones that I've seen, and I didn't even see much of them, was like the one that was like what I love about Nicole and what I love about Charlie, just like them talking about each other. But I didn't even see much of that. So I really don't know a ton going into this, other than, like I said, it's about two people going through a divorce and that kind of thing. And, you know, it worked for Roma last year. I think it's going to work with this. And again, just in general, I'm very excited to see how this one turns out.
I think this looks really, really good. Noah
yeah.
Baumbach is a director. I haven't seen many of his works before. He
I don't think you've seen any of them. Actually, no, you saw Francis Ha.
I was going to say Francis Ha.
And Fantastic Mr. Fox, because he was a producer on that.
Kevin, I'm only counting his directing stuff. Francis Ha, I remember liking, but I need to rewatch it. I have the Criterion, so I should try to rewatch that before I see this. But this to me looks like a really, really good movie. I mean, fucking Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson, just from the trailer alone, they look like they have tons of chemistry and like the intensity and the rawness that's needed for roles like this. You know, I didn't mention it in Little Woman, but my favorite actress Laura Dern is also in this movie. I'm very excited to see her, even though she's probably in it for much, but it's whatever. I'm excited for that. Yeah, you know, from everyone I've heard, you know, this is a very, very, you know, brutal film in some senses, but you know, to me, the way that, from the interviews I've heard for this film, it sounds like it was made in a really, really, it was made in a way where like they understood like all the different approaches and perspectives that they could put into this movie, and it looks like it's going to be really fleshed out and introspective, and that's, you know, and realistic, you know, that's very important for a film like this with this type of story. And yeah, you know, I'm really excited. I'm able to go see this one in theaters, which is exciting. And yeah, America.
Yeah, I went from just hearing about this movie when it was announced, like, oh, okay, another movie from Noah Baumbach. Obviously, he's very popular. He's got a lot of movies out there over a couple years now. But then, you know, once the marketing push started to come in, and once I finally kind of started to realize what the movie was going to be about, it kind of quickly jumped up to be one of my most anticipated for the rest of this year. I mean, you get not only do you have a great cast involved, like of course the two leads, Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson, but Ray Liotta, Laura Dern. Oh my God, so many people in this movie that are so talented, so good, and every glimpse in the trailer, everything feels so realistic, and every emotion already feels so stripped from reality in some way. Like it doesn't feel phony or fake already. I think that's a great compliment to the actors and Noah Baumbach's writing. I think he's hopefully going to be able to capture something that's really heartbreaking, hopefully, but also in some ways maybe for people that have gone through divorces like this, or children of divorce, maybe that can also kind of relate to what's going on with the parents. Hopefully maybe give them some catharsis too about what's going on. Tragedy can be like the best catharsis for some people. I think he's going to really capture this kind of moment in time for a lot of people very well, and very heartbreaking, but realistically so. Score by Randy Newman already. I usually don't do that. You usually, when music or like songs come out before the movie comes out, I'm usually like, I'll wait for the movie. But for this one, because it was Randy Newman, someone I didn't expect to score a movie like this, because I just think of Toy Story, believe it or not. But it already sounds very wonderful and very lovely. And, Toy Story movies are very, very keen on making me cry, attributed with Randy Newman's score in the mix. So the fact that he's also scoring this one, that tells me that this might be a very Kino film because he's involved. It might be a really great tearjerker because of his music, attributing to that. So I'm very excited to see this movie, and I'm hoping that maybe it can rival my favorite Netflix film right now for this one to be the new best one. So I'm very pumped for it. Very, very excited to maybe feel depressed AF.
So if you guys are excited for Marriage Story, it does come out on Netflix on December 6th, but it also is in quite a few theaters right now, so you might have seen it already. If you are, then I'm very jealous. I really wish I could have seen it early, but it didn't happen, unfortunately, also because I like putting these out. I don't like seeing movies before I put these out and things like that, even though I've done that with a few occasional screenings. But regardless, if you're looking forward to Marriage Story, it does come out on Netflix on December 6th, so definitely look forward to it then. And the next one we'll be talking about is also a streaming service release, but it is actually the first Apple TV Plus original film. Here once again with Auburn Wanderer, here to talk about Hala.
It was in the quiet, in the moments alone, that she could see herself most clearly. I am of two parts divided. Stranger
Hala.
and family.
शर्म आती है ना तुम्हें अपनी माँ पर?
I've never said that.
So, Hala overall, this is one that I was definitely very interested in. I know this is going to be Apple TV Plus's first, big original film. They've done the, documentaries and things like that, but this is their first, legit original film, and it looks fine, I guess. It does seem like it is going to handle some of those, ethnic issues kind of well, how she, feels like she's out of place and things like that, and how she's trying to, acclimate to society. But it also seems like a story that we've seen done 1,000 times before. It doesn't really seem like it's going to do anything particularly new or different. I really do like the main lead, though, Geraldine Viswanathan. I've liked her in pretty much everything I've seen her in. I think she's a very talented actress, and it's cool to see her doing something a little bit more on the serious side of things, because I've always known she has the potential in her. So I'm excited to see what she does here. I think she's probably going to be the best thing about this movie. The film itself, though, it looks, like I said, it looks fine. I think it looks a little cheesy at times. It definitely seems like it could get a little bit generic, and it seems like a film that we have seen done quite a few times before. I think it does have promise, but right now, not really feeling it that much.
I think this looks great. I was watching the trailer and I was like, wow, this looks really fucking good. What I like so much about this trailer is, clearly the film has to do with different, I hate to label like this, but like ethical, communities and parenting and stuff like different, cultures will parent their kids and stuff.
And Islamophobia and things like that.
Yeah, is it stereotyping a bit? Maybe, but it's still the way that it's doing it looks like it's going to be really emotionally compelling. The subject in this film, I believe she's not a teenage girl. I love the trailer was kind of like her narration of why it seems like it's like this diary entry or whatever. And her discovering herself, but her parents, aren't, letting her, the thing is, a lot of parents obviously, do that, they restrict their kids, so
Yeah.
It should be interesting, but they're doing it like in the light of like a different type of like race and stuff. Yeah, so we'll see if it addresses those types of issues. But again, I think it's just like it's going to be about a girl discovering herself, but her like outside influences, are restricting her from doing that. So I think it looks really good, actually. And I'm definitely going to watch it. So yeah.
So if you're looking forward to Hala, it does come out on December 6th. Really hoping it can be something great for sure. I think Apple TV Plus really does need something big right now because they really haven't taken off in the way that I think people would have hoped they were, and hopefully this film can maybe do that for them. And those are the films, of course, coming out on December 6th. Playmobil the Movie, In Fabric, Portrait of a Lady on Fire, Daniel is Unreal, Marriage Story, and Hala. So now we're going to be going into the week of December 13th, where there's not as many films coming out, but there is some stuff that I definitely am very excited for, the most of which is this first film we're going to be talking about that I'm sure a lot of us are very hyped for, definitely. Here, once again, with Jackson Fulcher, also for the first time, on this movie preview at least, is Film Fan 599, as well as Timothy Anderson, all here to talk about the highly anticipated, well, maybe it's not highly anticipated, but it is a film people are very excited for, and that, of course, is Jumanji: The Next Level.
Are we in Florida?
Oh my God.
Wait. We're in the wrong body! My joints feel like butter.
Oh no. I feel loose myself.
This can't be happening! I came back and things actually got worse.
Look at this. 1, 2, 3.
We have some issues here.
The game is busted.
Listen up now. This is a dangerous place. You got to have eyes in the back of your head.
What in the Sam hell just happened to him?
So, Jumanji: The Next Level, overall, this is a film that I am definitely very excited for, but it's also one that I am a little bit worried about, to be honest. On one hand, I think this is a really fun idea. I love them incorporating Danny DeVito and Danny Glover. I think they're going to be a lot of fun for sure. These are two veteran actors that always churn out some really fun stuff when they're given the right material, and especially getting to see Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart channel their inner versions of them is a really fun idea, and especially Kevin Hart. I mean, what a spot-on impression. It's honestly so impressive how much he was able to just completely transform into Danny Glover in that way without physically transforming himself. It's so impressive and things like that. And Dwayne Johnson seems like he's going to do a really great job. And I love that we're still getting these actors, but they're doing different characters. It's a really good way of keeping this fresh and exciting. On the other hand, though, that second trailer has me a little bit worried for sure. It seems like things are getting a little bit too overcomplicated. It seems like they're kind of dragging out some jokes from the first one that they really didn't need to. I don't understand why we need to have Jack Black come back as like the Bethany character at the end and things like that. If that's just like a one scene thing, I'm fine with that. But I'm worried that that's going to be like a big portion of the movie. And considering that we already saw that he's doing fridge throughout most of it, I don't really understand the point of that. But I guess we'll see how that works. I'm excited to see who Awkwafina is playing as well. They're keeping her role very under wraps, and I'm excited to see what that's all about. And overall, I'm just really hoping for a very fun sequel here. We by no means need this film, because especially considering the way that the last movie ended for sure. It felt pretty definitive in that way. But considering that that film was so successful, it makes sense why we're getting a sequel, and I just really hope it does deliver. I really love this cast. I really think that they can make something really fun if handled correctly, and overall, I am excited for it. Like I said, I'm a little bit worried because of some of those things in that last trailer, but overall, I definitely like where they're going. I like they're going in a different direction. I like that they've incorporated these new actors, and overall, I just really am hoping for something solid. So I'm overall excited for this film.
Well, I have not seen Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle yet. I know. But I will say this. I've seen both trailers to this film, and I think it looks really, really good. I think it looks like a lot of fun. I think it looks very funny, especially Kevin Hart and The Rock. The greatest beef of all time, okay? Y'all thought Jimmy Kimmel and Matt Damon was real? Nah, okay? You ain't seen The Rock and Kevin Hart, okay? That shit get deep down, okay? And I'm excited to see this film. I like the cast a lot of great members, and this is one that I will hopefully be seeing with Film Fan when I go down there in December, because I'm meeting up with him again, and he wants to go see it. So yeah, but I will obviously watch the first one before. But I'll say this: I like how like these Jumanji films, it looks like instead of like the board game, now they're taking the video games and like giving it. Like I like how like it's really creative in that way, and like trying to make it more like relevant to like the kids of today. You know, so I think that that's really cool. And yeah, so I'm really excited for this one. I think it looks really good. And it looks a lot of fun and entertaining. And I'm just hoping that, it is a grand old time. And oh, my coffee's ready! Yeah!
Oh my God, what the fuck?
Is this the next Bugatti? Is this the next Bugatti
I timed that perfectly with the timer for my coffee. Let's go.
Oh yeah,
that's the Bugatti of this movie of this year's.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm a big fan of the last Jumanji movie that they made. I haven't seen the original Jumanji in a long time, so I can't really compare it to that one, but I know that I did. Shut up. But I know that, hey, Kevin, keep it down. We can hear you in the other room. I can't. But I remember, I remember having fond memories of that film when I was a little younger, and the last movie they made was really fun. I've seen it many times, like about 5 times now, I think, if I remember correctly. And near the end of the film, there is a line that Dwayne Johnson says that I could see actually them expanding on more in a sequel with the Alex Wolff character Spencer. Yep. So the fact that they are making a sequel, I was like, okay, I wonder how they're going to work that in, since the end of the first one they smashed that thing, but they showed in the trailer how they worked it back into it.
Spoiler!
This could be it's in the fuck you. But they showed how it got back to be, how they are setting the sequel up, and I think it could really explore these characters at least a little bit more than we did in the first one. The first one, they did a really good job with those characters, but this one really does have the potential to go a little bit deeper with them and explore them even more. And I think that's a really great idea. The fact that also the action scenes also look a lot of fun. Like the last one, the humor seems to be there. Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart look like they're going to be the standouts of the movie, as well as Jack Black doing his impersonation of Kevin Hart pretty much, because Kevin Hart was mostly doing the fridge stuff in the last one.
It's racist.
I'm excited to see it. Shut up. I'm excited to see what Awkwafina has to bring to this. I wonder what she's going to play as in this one. Nick Jonas is back, which was cool. I was worried that he was going to seem like a kind of worthless tag along in the first one, but he fit in really well with everyone too. So I'm glad he's back too. I'm just really excited to see what they do with the sequel. I hope it doesn't feel just blah. I hope they have the same amount of entertainment as the first movie did, but also add in that more character building stuff that we're expecting in a sequel. And it seems like they're setting it up to be.
Yeah, also, let's hope Nick Jonas actually has a good performance this year, because so far, oof.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, shit, I'm now. Okay, so when I saw the trailer for the second Jumanji movie, Welcome to the Jungle, I thought it looked like shit. I thought it was going to suck. I loved the first Jumanji a lot. I had no idea why they were making a sequel besides maybe making money. What I didn't know was that the movie was actually going to be a really good time with these great characters that you could really get with, and some pretty amazing action sequences. Now, I've only seen the movie once since it came out in theaters, and I haven't seen it since, and I'm waiting to watch it again before I go see the next level, but I really cannot wait to see Jumanji 2, 3. It looks really fun. The characters look fantastic. The action sequences look great. I'm excited. I'll leave it at that. Go ahead. Next.
Now, I was one of the few people before Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle came out. I was actually really looking forward to it. I actually thought the movie
was I.
I actually thought the movie looked really
asked you though, Kevin. God, okay. We're gonna bring this up right now. Kevin's always interrupting people. He's always got something to say. Always.
All right, that's enough of that.
What the? Did you kick him out, you idiot? Anyway,
he's still here.
You boomer.
This is gonna be a great night. Anyways, But I was really looking forward to that movie. It exceeded my expectations. I had a really fun time with the film. I really enjoyed it a lot. So I was really looking forward to the fact that they were going to make another one, because I do love this cast a lot. I love the creativity that they have with this, that they're going with this series. So when the first trailer came out, I was like, oh man. And then when I saw Danny DeVito doing it, like The Rock playing Danny DeVito, oh man, and Kevin Hart playing Danny Glover, I was just, this looks hilarious. Like, the trailer had me laughing. Now I have not seen the second trailer, so I can't really comment on that, but from the first trailer, it looks hilarious. I cannot wait to see this. I hope it's another great installment in this series, and it does look like a ton of fun, just like the first one, and it just looks hilarious. Like, I'm excited. I hope they keep the energy like they did with the last one, and I just hope it's a fantastic time. So yeah.
So if you guys are looking forward to Jumanji: The Next Level, it does come out on December 13th. Hoping for it to be a very, very entertaining and satisfying sequel or threequel for sure. But the next one we're going to be talking about is, there's a lot of Christmas films that I do like. I want Christmas movies to be good, but as you know, the majority of them came out in November. But there is still one that's chugging along, and needless to say, I don't really think this is going to be the one to give me the Christmas cheer. But here to talk about this one with me once again is Auburn Wanderer, here to talk about the highly necessary remake of Black Christmas.
Helena hasn't gotten home yet.
If I were missing, I'd want you to unleash the bloodhounds and track me down. She was at DKO last night.
Still creating problems, all right?
Hello? Hello?
Black Christmas. Look, this is a film that I thought definitely could have had some potential behind it. Sophia Takal is not a director that I love or anything, but I was excited to see what she was going to do here. I really like Imogen Poots and things like that. I think she's a very talented actress, but this looks fucking awful. This looks so generic and just so been there, done that. And it seems like one of those remakes that, like, they're only making just because it's a dead property. Like, not a lot of people, at least in this generation, know about Black Christmas. Like, they might have heard of the film, but there aren't a lot of people that have seen it. So they're trying to make this like the definitive version and things like that, and it just looks really bad. It seems like every other slasher movie we've seen before. And look, I love myself a good slasher like Christmas movie, but this just doesn't seem like it's going to handle it well very much at all. It also seems like it's very forceful with the way it's going about like female empowerment and things like that, and it's just I'm not really into this one at all. Every single time this trailer plays, it just really annoys me. I'm just waiting for this film to come out so that way I can finally stop seeing this trailer. Look, maybe it'll be good, but from the likes of this trailer, it just seems like this is going to be one of those films that is insanely predictable, that really doesn't do much of anything to stand out, and is going to be heavily sanitized, as it is going to be PG-13, which, look, there have been some great horror movies that are PG-13, but a PG-13 slasher movie doesn't usually work. It usually feels very toned down, and I feel like that's going to be the case with this one. I don't know. I mean, it just seems really, really just unnecessary, and it seems like yet another one of those horror remakes that we just don't really need very much at all. And it's not my least anticipated of the year. That's easily like Playmobil or something like that. But it definitely looks really bad for sure.
I haven't seen any of the other versions of Black Christmas, but I know a lot of people think they're some of the best slasher films like ever made. So I'll have to watch them eventually. I think they're screening one near me actually soon in December. But regardless of the fact that this film, has like an IP that for slasher films is like kind of like a high standard, that doesn't not necessarily make it look good. This looks really bad.
Yeah,
and it doesn't honestly listen. There's been discussion about PG-13 horror films when this film got a PG-13 rating. From the MPAA, but and I was telling people, I mean, just because it's PG-13 doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be bad. But
yeah, no, I'm the same way. But
the thing is this is a slasher movie.
Exactly.
It's like I kind of feel like they should VR, because the people that want to see these movies, they just like seeing blood and gore. I mean, so
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
It seems like they're trying to introduce Black Christmas to a more accessible audience. But like the thing is like we've already gotten this film so many times. It's like, why?
Yeah, like what's the point?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna see this, so yeah. Which is unfortunate because like, isn't like Jordan Peele executive producing this, or like didn't he have something with this?
I mean, I think it might be. I don't know if it's. I don't know.
I don't. I know it's Blumhouse, right?
Yeah, Blumhouse is. No, it's not. It's not Blumhouse. It's not. It's Universal.
I'm very surprised it's not Blumhouse. I'm very surprised it's not Blumhouse. It is. It is.
It is Blumhouse.
Bro, I'm so confused. Okay. Meh.
Yeah, it is Blumhouse, but no, Jordan Peele is not behind it. So if you guys are looking forward to Black Christmas overall, it does come out on December 13th. I guess look forward to it, but again, don't really see that much promise for this one, unfortunately. But the next one we're going to be talking about, Clint Eastwood is a director that I really do respect, but recently he has been he has been popping in films just like gangbusters, and once again, just unceremoniously dropping this one, similar to how he did with The Mule. And The Mule might not have been an Oscar contender, but I very much do think this one could potentially be, of course, being
Richard, you're a national hero now.
Thank you, sir. But I was just doing my job.
You always look at the guy who found the bomb, just like you always look at the guy who found the body.
Jewel fits the profile of the lone bomber. A frustrated white man who is a police wannabe who seeks to become a hero.
We're running it. You're a suspect. You don't talk. I talk. Say it.
I don't talk.
This might be the only way to clear your name. I want you to say there's a bomb in Centennial Park. You have 30 minutes.
So, Richard Jewell overall, this is yet another Clint Eastwood film that kind of came out of nowhere, just like last year with The Mule. And I think this actually looks really good, honestly. I was very, very impressed by what I'm seeing here. And similar to The Mule, it seems like one of those films that, it's based on a story that we don't really know all that well, but that they're going to shed some light on. And I think it has a lot of potential for sure. Clint Eastwood as a director, he's been very hit and miss lately, but I'm hearing from early reactions, things like that, this really is his big comeback and all that kind of stuff. And it very much does seem that way. I really am interested in the story here. I think it definitely has a lot of potential for sure. And especially the recurring motif in the trailer of like, there's a bomb in Centennial Park. You have 30 minutes or something like that. Like it just really gets to me every single time. And the cast here is just fucking crazy, honestly. The fact, the cast for The Mule was crazy too, but that's nothing compared to this one. I mean, you got Kathy Bates, Olivia Wilde, Sam Rockwell, John Hamm, Paul Walter Hauser. Just a really incredible cast overall, and I'm very excited to see how this film does turn out. Like I said, I don't know a ton about it, story-wise, but overall, I think it definitely does have a lot of potential. I really do think Eastwood could turn out something really solid here, and overall, I'm definitely looking forward to this one.
I think this looks really, really intense and really powerful. Yeah. And, I've only seen the TV spots for this one, actually. But I, just from those TV spots, honestly, I wouldn't really want to see much more because, like, this is a film that really, really relies on, like, each scene. Because, like, where is it going to go from each scene? You know what I mean? So, I don't really want to see too much, like, footage from it. I don't really usually watch that many trailers, but like, the footage for this one I saw looks incredible. That the cast in this is stacked. It just like, this looks like a really, really like, intense, grounded film, which, Clint Eastwood has done, he's a very grounded in reality type director. Obviously because he's in so many true story films, but like this one, is definitely one that looks a lot more, interesting, I guess. I really liked Sully, but like American Sniper was a disaster in my opinion, and I haven't seen The Mule, but I have no interest in seeing that because that film and that intensity and realism just didn't really like seem like something that would interest me. But this one, this looks really, really great. I definitely want to go see this in theaters. And Clint Eastwood, man, he never stops. It's insane how many movies isn't he like in his 80s now?
Yeah. He's 90. Old. He's old.
It's crazy. You got to give it up to him, man. Very talented for sure. And
Jackson?
No, Jackson's not doing this one.
Oh, okay. Richard Jewell. What to say about this one? I'm a huge Clint Eastwood fan. I love Clint Eastwood. But lately he's kind of been a disappointing. He's made disappointment after disappointment to me. Besides Soli and maybe the last quarter half of American Sniper, and I didn't like 1517 to Paris.
Oh yeah, no, that one was not good.
Like, it was terrible. The Mule, I had really high expectations for it, and I walked out. I didn't walk out after the movie, but I walked out disappointed that it didn't like completely reach its full potential for me. So I'm saying I think this movie might be Clint Eastwood's comeback.
Yeah,
it looks fantastic. I cannot wait. The cast is stacked. I mean, Sam Rockwell is slowly becoming one of my favorite actors. I like how they're taking the guy who's mostly known for comedy and putting him in this lead role where he's in this situation and like it looks fantastic. It looks like a great character piece as well as one of Eastwood's, if not Eastwood's biggest comeback. And I will be seeing this one in theaters, hopefully. I'm thinking maybe with Jumanji. I'm not sure yet, but it looks fantastic. I can't wait. I love Clint Eastwood, but I hope this is his comeback because he hasn't had a good movie since Soli, and that was in 2016.
Yeah. So if you guys looking forward to Richard Jewell, it does come out on December 13th. Like I said, could potentially be a big Oscar contender. I've heard a lot of good things about this one, and definitely be on the lookout for it. And staying in the conversation of films that may very well be Oscar contenders, we have a film that I think is a shoo-in to get nominated for a bunch of stuff. Here to talk about one of the biggest films of the year with me is a pretty big full house here. We got, once again, Aubrey Wanderer, but also Jackson Fulcher, Film 509, Adam Haskell, and making his first appearance in this movie preview is Cam Wade, here to talk about the highly anticipated next film from the Safdie brothers, that, of course, being Uncut Gems.
What is that? I started it. Yeah. You serious? You're taking my money all over town, placing bets. I'm having very serious second thoughts.
Are you serious right now?
I know I fucked up. Howard, where's the money right now?
Howard, got my money? Howard!
Is it too late? I'm done. It means nothing. It meant nothing. Please. Give me another shot.
So, Uncut Gems overall, I am obviously hyped for this film, especially coming off the heels of the Safdie brothers' previous film, Good Time, which I thought was just such a exhilarating and just such a adrenaline rush of a film. And this film looks like it's going to be even more of a rush in that way. I mean, this film seems like it's going to be incredibly suspenseful, but also have some really great dialogue to it. And the acting here, I mean, just the cast that they assembled for this film is insane. The fact they got Adam Sandler, Lakeith Stanfield, Pom Clemente, Idina Menzel somehow. They even got like smaller cameos like Kevin Garnett and another really small person that I don't really, another very small cameo.
I am literally going to slap you 80 trillion
very
times.
Small cameo. They're like, no one's really heard of him, but maybe he'll do all right. But in all seriousness, this is easily one of the most anticipated of the rest of the year for sure. I think this film looks incredibly exhilarating. I think this film looks like it's going to have a really interesting like character study as well. I've heard a lot of this film is very much a character study in that way. And I think in the same way that something like Good Time really showed Robert Pattinson in a different light, I think Uncut Gems is going to do this for Adam Sandler. We already know he's a great actor, but this is the kind of role that he doesn't normally do, and I'm excited to see how this really does turn out overall. I'm hearing this. Some people say this is maybe the best he's ever been, which is insane for sure. And then the whole premise of him, being like this, jewel thief and things like that, I think is a really interesting idea. And I'm just really excited to see how this film does turn out. The cinematography here looks amazing. Like I said, the script here just looks so great. And just in general, this is easily has all the makings of one of the most anticipated and one of the best of the entire year for sure that I just cannot wait to see. And definitely is one that I hope is worth all the praise.
Okay. Okay. Where do I begin? Now, listen. I thought Good Time was a pretty great movie.
Yeah.
But this movie right here, this film looks like it's on another fucking level.
Oh, yeah.
This movie looks fucking amazing. Like, I can't even, like, begin to describe it. This film looks like if, like, it seems like the Safdie brothers are, like, doing another film that essentially feels like a panic attack, but, like, this time in a different, like, setting with a different story. And it seems like they're going for even more crazy stuff, which is, like, so interesting to think about because, like, Good Time had some really, like, crazy set pieces, and now this one I know is going to have even crazier ones, and it's, like, just fucking insane. Adam Sandler is a fantastic actor in his dramatic stuff. Punch Drunk Love he's fantastic in, and he's in really good in other dramatic roles that, like, I've seen him in, or, like, in some comedies that he has, like, some dramatic moments. He's really good. So I'm excited to see him in this, and, man, the rest of this cast is really fucking crazy. Obviously, you know, Kevin Garnett, that's the legend, okay? That's the guy. You know right there? That's that dude, okay? Kevin Garnett. You don't mess with that.
That's that dude.
You don't mess with that motherfucker, okay? If y'all don't know, I live in Massachusetts, so I'm a very big Celtics fan. You know, anything is.
Oh, really? No, I thought you hated them. I thought you hated basketball.
I'm literally going.
I thought you were a baseball fan.
I'm literally gonna sucker punch you. And you want to know what's interesting? Actually, is that I'm hearing the ending of this movie takes place at a Celtics game in Boston. I'm not sure how entirely true that part is that it's in Boston. But if it is in Boston, the funny thing is that me and Kevin are going to go see this at the new ArcLight Theater that opened up in Boston. Open up in Boston right next to the TD Garden where the Celtics play. So if the movie takes place at the TD Garden, at the end of the movie, we'll literally be right next to it watching the movie.
Yep.
So that's going to be very interesting. And you got the rest of this cast. You know, that's also really, really great. I think there's also there's one more person. His name is Abel Tesfaye, and it's not like this guy's, the GOAT or anything. It's not like, he's like my favorite artist, It's not like I would literally...
The fact he knows its full name, ladies and gentlemen.
It's not like this man has like blessed my life. It's not like literally when I'm seeing this movie and he comes on screen, I'm literally going to scream. It's...
So what you're saying is when we see this in theaters, I got to move like 5 feet away from you, like 5 seats away from you, because I know exactly what you're going to do.
Yeah, fuck you, bitch. Dude, listen, it's funny because Film Fan knows this. The main reason I watch Good Time is because The Weeknd tweeted that he thought The Good Time was one of the best movies that he's ever seen, and he said it was a masterpiece. So I'm like, okay, I gotta watch this. I don't know if Film Fan remembers this, but I remember I sent him the screenshot on Facebook Messenger, and I'm like, we should watch this together, and then we did. And now he's in their movie.
You're like, let's watch this together right now.
Dude, it's crazy because he has like his old hair, like his King of the Fall, Beat Behind the Madness hair. It's like, it's fucking crazy. Like I can't fucking wait. Like fucking Abel has like new music, hopefully a new album, and this coming out like all in like the span of like a month. It's like, it's fucking insane. Yes, I mean, a large part of why I'm excited for this movie is for that cameo. I can't even lie. I just saw Knives Out today, and they showed the trailer. And when I saw my boy on the big screen, I felt like a proud father. And yes, I'm very, very excited. I heard he performs "The Morning," which is a fantastic song from House of Balloons. So I'm very, very excited.
It's a great one, yeah.
Yes, I'm very excited to see that. Even though I'm sure it's just like it's like it's
now,
just like
Caden, I must ask.
What?
How will you feel if the new music is actually in this film?
I highly doubt that, but that would be very, very interesting. I mean, I already know a large part of what The Weeknd's role is because I'm in like the Weeknd fan communities and everyone has been talking about it, but y'all ain't ready to see Adam Sandler fight The Weeknd. It's about to be very, very lit. Literally get into it.
That's something I thought I would never hear in my life.
Apparently they have a full-on fist fight. It's gonna be beautiful. I heard it's really...
Wait, did they actually?
Yes, apparently.
Oh,
So
shit.
you see it a little bit in the trailer. I mean, I heard he's only in the movie for like 5 minutes, but I don't give a fucking shit. Okay, I know the movie's over 2 hours, but here's the thing: the movie. I mean, yes, The Weeknd's like the greatest guy ever, but I mean, like the rest of the movie is gonna probably gonna be fucking great also. So it's just like that, that's like the extra cherry on top. Oh, so you got Kevin Garnett.
Are you ready to give The Weeknd best support?
It's like in the movie looks like a panic attack. Like high intensity. It's like, come on, bro. This movie looks fucking amazing. Like, it looks like really insane. It's just like the trailer, like Adam Sandler just like captures like the insanity and like lunacy of this guy like so well. It's just like the gambling and getting into trouble. Oh, it's so fun. I can't wait. I'm gonna cry. So I can't wait. So a good job. I'm seeing with Kevin. He's gonna be embarrassed when I scream when I see The Weeknd and Kevin Garnett, but whatever.
Yeah, I may or may not just leave Boston that day after seeing the movie because of,
Well, I mean, we're going to North Station to see it, which they have a train station inside the TD Garden. So, I mean,
yeah, maybe I'll just, peace out right then and there.
Yeah, even though someone just got killed there like last week. But anyways,
that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's great. But yeah.
So yeah, I really enjoyed Good Time a lot. That's a film that has remained in my head ever since I've seen it. I thought it was a fantastic directing job from the Safdie brothers. It was a great story, great acting. So of course, when I found out they're making another film, I was excited. And with their partnering with A24 again, that's obviously great. But as soon as they said Adam Sandler's going to be in this bitch, I was like, what? The man who occasionally spreads his wings and does something kind of dramatic is now going to be in a film from the directors of Good Time. That sounds like pure gold. And I've been anticipating seeing some footage from this movie for so long. And they finally released a trailer like a couple months ago, and it looks fantastic. Like I've been hearing a lot about how it feels like you're having like an anxiety attack throughout the entire film.
Yep.
And that's kind of like the perfect kind of feel that a movie like this could have, and, hearing that Adam Sandler's like this might just be there's not really a lot of competition, but the fact that people are saying like this definitely is like one of the greatest roles. I know, but like aside from that, there's not a whole lot that like can compete with it as far as like this like one of his best roles. But hearing that a lot of people say this is it, this might get him an Oscar nom because he's this great. It's not like a pity one where it's like, oh, whatever, he was good, give him an Oscar. Like, no, give him an Oscar. Like, that is great to hear because he's an actor that he really has chops. It's just he limits himself to his own productions, and they all feel really cheap and lazy, easy cash grabs. He can go on vacation with his friends, whatever movies. But this actually feels like he's trying. And I think if he, as long as the Happy Madison logo doesn't pop up in front of Uncut Gems, then I think this movie's in really good shape. I'm really excited to see it. I think the Safdies are going to knock it out of the park again. Adam Sandler, can't wait to see what performance he brings, and as well as the other cast members. Lakeith Stanfield is in this, and Idina Menzel, fresh off of Frozen 2. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see all the cast members involved in this. I think it's going to be a really great film that I'm so excited for.
Talk about Uncut Gems now. Now, folks. But I have one question for Caden, though. Will you give the Best Supporting Actor Oscar to The Weeknd?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
He should have won for Earned It back in the Oscars, dude. Oh my god, imagine if he actually won for that and The Weeknd had an Oscar. If only.
Academy Award winner.
I know that was 3 years ago, but oh man, that would have been beautiful.
Oh man, all right. But no,
I remember when he won for fucking. I remember when Writings on wasn't that the same year Writings on the Wall was nominated?
Yeah, and I think it won. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you freaked the fuck out, even though The Weeknd was nominated.
I mean, I wasn't as big of a fan of The Weeknd back then as I am now. I mean, I was, but like I was more into like Kanye at the time.
Imagine thinking Sam Smith is better than The Weeknd.
Writings on the Wall is a good song, but like,
it is a good song.
There's better Bond songs.
Can I talk?
Oh yeah, hi Tyler.
Hello.
No, fuck you.
I'm not talking to you, Kaden. I'm talking to you, no fuckface. Anyways.
Okay.
But anyway, I think this movie looks fantastic. I loved Good Time. I thought Good Time was a very intense movie. I watched it with this boy here. He dragged me along with it. I'm glad he did because I love that movie a lot.
Yay.
And when I heard the announcement that the Safdie brothers were going to do another movie, I was very excited. And I wanted to see what direction they were going to take this in. And it looks, somehow it even looks more intense than Good Time. Like Adam Sandler seems like he is sinking his teeth into this role. Like, I love, I like him as a comedic actor, but I really love him as a serious actor. I think he just looks fantastic in this role. Like, he's already owning this. I haven't even seen the full movie. I already think he's owning this. And he just looks great, and I cannot wait to see what he does in this role. Lakeith Stanfield is in this. Idina Menzel, of course, we just discussed it, the boy of the weekend. So I'm just excited. This movie has a great cast. It looks tense as hell. It just looks like, how I would describe it is adrenaline rush the movie. That's what this seems like to me. And it just looks great. I cannot wait for this. This is probably, other than Star Wars, this is probably my most anticipated film for the rest of the year, honestly. This looks absolutely insane. This just looks like balls to the wall insanity. And I can't wait to see it. It looks fantastic. And, it just looks insane. So I can't wait.
So, Uncut Gems, I'm really excited for this movie. I love Adam Sandler. He's a very sexy man, and he's a great actor, too. And I'm excited to see him star in A24 film. Looks like a very different role for him, for sure. Yeah. And I'm very excited about that. The film looks like a panic attack, and I'm excited for that, too. And the directors of this film, I really enjoyed Good Time, so yeah. I'm excited for this one. And yeah, it all around just looks like a really great, crazy fucking movie. And I'm really excited for it. So yeah.
And make sure to take that pain reliever.
Yeah.
Uncut Gems, which stars Adam Sandler, Idina Menzel. I can't remember the basketball name, but I think it's Kevin Garnett, The Weeknd, Lakeith Stanfield. It's a very good cast, and it's directed by the Safdie or Safdie brothers. I can't remember their specific name, but they directed Good Time, which was an amazing film from 2017. This film is basically about... I don't specifically know what it's about because I've been avoiding reviews and spoilers, but judging from the trailer, it's about a very, very crafty but horrible man who's lost a very important jewel. He's doing his best to try it back, and he's got loan sharks after him. That's the thing that I gathered the most. So yeah, this film looks to be, in my opinion, an amazing film. It's got a great cast. It's got great. It looks like it's got great direction. Judging from that trailer and from their previous films alone, with how intense it looks, I have a feeling it's going to be amazing. And not only that, but there's something about the way it's filmed and the way that Adam Sandler moves with the camera. It looks like there could be some really interesting camera techniques, just like there was in Good Time, especially that last act where, spoilers for Good Time, the last shot is just zooming in on Robert Pattinson's face. I hope we get to see something like that in Uncut Gems. I'm very excited for this one. It's been on my radar for a long time. Someone even told me that it's right up my alley, so that's got me even more excited. Yeah.
So if you guys are looking forward to Uncut Gems, it does come out on December 13th, and then I believe it goes wide on Christmas Day. So definitely look forward to it for sure. Heard a lot of great things, and really hope it lives up to the hype. Speaking of films that definitely I hope lives up to the hype, we go into the next film from another director that I really do love. Once again with me is Auburn Wanderer, as well as Cam Wade, making his second and final appearance in this movie preview. At least not his final appearance overall, at least I hope not. But they of course are here to talk about A Hidden Life.
What's happened to our country? We're killing innocent people. Raiding other countries, preying on the weak. If our leaders, if they're evil, what does one do?
You have a duty to the fatherland. The church tells you so.
You cannot say no to your race and your hope. You are a traitor.
So, A Hidden Life overall, this is a film that I am very interested in for sure. Terrence Malick is a director that I have only actually seen a few of his works from. I adore Days of Heaven. I think that's a fantastic movie. I've seen that one. And then some of his other recent ones, though, like Knight of Cups especially. I just don't think have been all that great. They've turned much more into just like, visual poems and things like that. And this seems like he's really going back to his more traditional Terrence Malick type style. And I'm definitely all for it. Yes, have we seen films like this before? Definitely. We've definitely seen films like this where, you have this person who wants to, doesn't really want to fight for, the Nazis and things like that. Like he's trying to back down from it and everyone else is telling him that he's wrong and all that kind of stuff. And that, war's breaking. Like we've seen movies about that before, but it really seems like this is going to do something different with that. It's especially since it's not about someone that is Jewish. It's about someone that is trying to fight for the people that are, and I think that's a very interesting idea. I will say right now, the cinematography here looks like it's going to be some of the best the entire year. So many just stunning shots just from the trailer, and that's one of the best parts of the trailer for me. Like it's always so stunning, mainly because of that cinematography. It's just so captivating in that way, and it really seems like one of those kind of movies that's just going to have some truly amazing shot composition. I mean, this is Terrence Malick, so we really shouldn't be that surprised that he's got an amazing cinematographer on board, but like really seems like it's going to stick out well here. And just the actual story sounds like it's going to be one that really does engross me for sure. So yeah, that definitely does have me interested. A really great cast here as well. I mean, you have Matthias Skonartz as well, but it also is going to be the final film from both Michael Nyqvist and Bruno Ganz, so I'm excited to see what the film does for them as well. And just in general, I think this film has a lot of potential for sure. It's definitely one that I am very excited for. A little bit worried about, not necessarily worried, but I don't really know how that 3-hour runtime is going to go. We'll have to see how that ends up happening for sure. But overall, I think this has tons of potential. It's definitely on my must-see list for the rest of the year, and I hope that it is that return that Terrence Malick really does need right now, because I mean, I haven't seen a lot of his recent films, but I know he's become very irrelevant and almost sort of someone people mock. So I hope this gets people back on board with him overall.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm super, super fucking excited for this movie. Terrence Malick is one of the best directors of all time. Like, I mean, The New World, Tree of Life, Badlands. I mean, like, this guy just, like, has so many incredible films that to me, like, take, like, cinema as an art form, and he pushes it in certain ways that are just so just like existential and like otherworldly and very like I don't know, like it's just sort of explain his style. It's just so beautiful, and like this film, the plot of the film sounds really heartbreaking, but like it's something I know Terrence Malick's gonna do a good job at, and it's gonna be interesting seeing him do a story like this, but also influencing again his religious elements that he's been exploring recently. And I hope that I'm pretty sure these are gonna be some great characters. And, I don't think I'm not worried about the runtime. I mean, I'm just not. I'm very, very excited to see this one, and yeah.
Hello, sorry for my appearance again, but I'm going to be presenting A Hidden Life, which is the new Terrence Malick film. What this film's about is, I really shouldn't have chosen to present this film because I've been avoiding the trailers. But one thing I will say about it is, and I'm sure somebody else can sum it up for me even better, is that it's about a love story during World War II or World War One. I don't know. I feel really bad for not presenting it, but it looks like a fucking phenomenal film from the master Terrence Malick. Yes, he's a little pretentious. Yes, he's a little too up himself and mysterious. But this one, I think, looks like he's balanced that artsy, but also has a lot of substance. With films like he did, like Badlands and The Thin Red Line, I feel like this could be a really, really great film. And I'm really excited for it. But not only that, but I think that it could be one of the year's best. Unluckily, I get it in January, not December. So that really sucks. However, for these guys, they get to see it early, and I'm sure it's going to be an amazing film. My friend has given it a rare 5 out of 5 for him. So for me, that's usually a good indication that it's going to be a great film. What do you guys think? Thank you for having me, guys, and I'm sorry if I've been shaky, not with showing my face or not being on the regular scheduling or, but I'm happy to do what I can, and I really hope this helps you out. My YouTube channel is Cameron WAFR. All it is because I was going to spell my name Cameron Wade, but I accidentally put FR instead of DE, and I've stuck with it because it's become a thing. Subscribe to me on there. I make films all the time and upload them. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys, for watching, and thank you for Kevin and the rest. Thank you.
So if you guys are excited for Hidden Life overall, it does come out on December 13th. And again, similar to Uncut Gems, I do believe it goes wide on the 25th, so definitely look forward to it then. And next up, we have a film that could potentially be an Oscar contender, but it also could end up being Oscar bait in that way. Here with me, once again, what do you know, is Auburn Wanderer to talk about this next film known as Seaberg.
This country is at war with itself. Vietnam, the oppression of black people in America. It's the same disgusting racism.
The revolution needs movie stars.
Who's that?
Some actress. Just grabbing some free publicity.
She has a history of donations to civil rights groups. She's a sympathizer, sir. I think she could be useful.
You must be some kind of crazy to come to this neighborhood in that car.
Was it my money you were chasing? Or was it me? Hello? Hello?
Seaberg. So I know this one hasn't really been getting the best of reviews, but this trailer definitely does not seem like it's reflective of that, because I actually think this looks really good, especially when it comes to the caster. I mean, Kristen Stewart seems like she's going to give one of her best performances yet. It really seems like she's going for it in this film, and I really like what she's doing here for sure. And I mean, she's been a lot of really great films, but it really seems like she's going to stand out here. Besides her, I mean, Margaret Qualley, Zazie Beetz, Anthony Mackie, Vince Vaughn, such a stacked cast in that way. And the actual plot of this, I think, is really interesting, and it's something that I actually didn't really know, where there was this actress, Jean Seaberg, who was affiliated with someone that was a cousin of Malcolm X, and so because of that, the FBI was like targeting her and things like that. It's really interesting, and it's something where, yes, it could fall off the rails, but if executed well, I think it could be very effective. I think it could be very topical in that way, and I think in general it could be a very riveting sort of story, because it's not really one that we know a lot about, and those are the biopics that always interest me the most, the ones that are stories that we don't know as much about because we don't have as much of an expectation. We don't really know a lot about that story, and there's a lot of little nuggets and things like that they can throw in there, and it can really make us more interested in what's going on and enlighten us in that way. And I feel like this could be one of those films, but it also could end up feeling like Oscar bait, and I hope that's not the case, because I think there's a lot of potential here. I definitely think that if they have the right pieces in play, this could be a very effective film, but we'll just have to see the way it goes. Like I said, I heard it's not that great, but at least from this trailer, I'm definitely interested in this one.
Jean Seaberg is one of the greatest actresses of all time, and that's not even debatable. I mean, in Breathless, she's fucking phenomenal.
I don't think I've seen her in anything.
Wow, Kevin, how do you guys see Breathless, bro? That's a classic.
I know,
Listen, I actually did not know this part of her story. I didn't. Like, I was watching the trailer, I was like, I did not know she went through this situation.
Yeah.
And the film looks very intense and very, socially aware of the subjects it's addressing. To me, it looks good. I think Kristen Stewart was a pretty much the best choice for this role, partially because she kind of resembles the look of Jean Seaberg, and plus she's just a great actress in general.
Definitely.
And I didn't, I was Anthony Mackie's in this, fucking Zazie Beetz. I was like, this has a really great cast. And I will say this. I just hope that the film, like how is it gonna handle all these issues, and hopefully it comes together in a way that's really compelling. I think it's gonna be interesting. I don't think it's gonna be boring to watch. I'm interested in seeing how it unveils its story, because this is a very interesting story that I did not know about. And
So if you guys are excited for Seaberg, it does come out on December 13th. I'm not entirely sure if it's going to go on Amazon Prime in the same month, similar to like what The Report and another film we're going to be talking about a little later on is doing, but I guess we'll just have to see. But the next one we're going to be talking about is one that I have been interested in for a while, but I'm not entirely sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You guys will see why in a little bit. But here, once again, with me is, of course, Auburn, who else but Auburn Wanderer, here to talk about this next film, The Death and Life of John F. Donovan.
I had just turned 11. Kids at school were mocking me for being a new guy.
Sorry.
My mom and I, we were barely speaking anymore. All my dreams had disappeared. The only one that had survived was John.
We'll get photo approval, right, Bob?
Yeah, and you're getting a pony for Christmas.
He, on the other hand, had everything. Fans, fame, love.
I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
That's the time around which some people started to wonder, was it all a lie?
So, The Death and Life of John F. Donovan, this is one I've been interested in for a while now, just because of how long it's taken to come out and how divided. I remember last year it came out at TIFF and it was so divided in that way. Some people were loving it. Some people were calling it just really pretentious. And honestly, from the likes of this trailer, I hate to say it, but I think I'm going to fall in the latter category because this just looks really dumb to me. This whole story, it's like, oh, this American TV star died and this young actor is like talking about how much he adored him and things like that and the impact that these letters had on him. And it just looks stupid, honestly. Look, the cast here I think will be good for the most part. I have heard Natalie Portman is pretty bad in this movie, which is shocking, but I have heard that she's not very good. I'm sure the cast will be pretty good. You know, we got Kit Harington, Susan Sarandon, Kathy Bates, Jacob Tremblay, Tandy Newton. So, like, a really good cast overall, but just the story itself is really fucking stupid. And it seems like one of those things that's going to be really melodramatic. It seems like one of those things that honestly, if handled in the way I think it's going to, could honestly fall into a guilty pleasure type level territory. And I hope that's not the case. I hope that this is a film that does impress me. But from the looks of what we're seeing here, not to mention the fact that the trailer was so fucking boring, like it was so long and it felt like it was just never going to end in that way. And just in general, I just think this looks really stupid. Look, I don't know much about other movies Xavier Dolan's done. I know he's a very controversial director in that way where like he has a very specific type of audience and you know, some people love his shtick and some people don't. I don't really think I've seen anything from him. The only thing I've seen from him was when he was in Boy Erased last year. But other than that, I'm not too familiar with
Chapter
it.
2.
Okay, yeah, there was that too. Yeah, other than that, I'm not really familiar with his work. But this looks really stupid.
Okay, I'll say this. I've been wanting to see this movie ever since like I knew about it, which was like over a year ago at this point. I mean, this movie has a great cast.
Yeah.
Like fucking Kit Harington, fucking Natalie Portman, Jacob Tremblay, Kathy Bates. Like, I mean, like that's a good cast.
Yeah.
And I thought it sounded interesting, the plot of it. And I still think when I seen this, I didn't watch the whole trailer. But I watched the international trailer, the first one. I watched part of it at least. And
it's the same exact trailer as the regular one.
Oh, it is? Okay. So I watched that one.
Yeah, literally all they did was they just like re-released it as like the American trailer.
That's funny. So I watched it. I watched like part of it. I'll say this. When it comes to Xavier Dolan, Mommy, his movie Mommy, is one of the best films of the decade. That movie's a masterpiece. That is one of the most.
I gotta watch that one.
It's one of the most like emotional experiences I've had watching a movie. Like a lot of people haven't watched it because of like that it has like the iPhone aspect ratio, but like it works in my opinion. And it just like the way it's utilized is so great, and the story is just so interesting and so compelling and just so heartbreaking at points. It's so good, amazing acting too. So. I wanted to say this obviously because I haven't actually seen any of Xavier Dolan's works. Not sure why. There's one of his works. I think it's his first one. I think it's like I Killed My Mother or something. I forget what it's called exactly.
Yeah.
That I've always want to see, but I never got to. But when it comes to this movie, from the trailer, I love the idea of the movie. It just looks like a mess execution wise. Like the execution of it, like to me, it seems like it's gonna be really messy because you're trying to tackle these two subjects that become connected in this huge, frenzy. And the way that it looks like it's being done is like kind of like it just like I don't know. It just seems like kind of like insensitive in a way to like the sincereness that it needs, because that's what I was surprised by, because like Mommy is such a sincere film, and this one I just didn't really get the sense from the trailer like it'll be the way I hope it is. But I don't know. I mean, I think it could be really good, and maybe it's just a trailer that's making it look like it's going to be this like kind of like messy, non-emotional film. Because, you know, some of the reviews I've read are pretty good for it. But again, you know, I have to see the movie first to make that judgment if it's going to be good or not. If it's good or not.
I know it's at a 19% right now.
I mean, I've read some reviews like on Letterboxd. That's the people I trust, so they said it's pretty good. But I don't know. I mean, I'm happy it's finally officially coming out here in the States and stuff. But I don't know. I mean, I think it looks fine. At least the trailer was kind of like, eh. I just thought the trailer was ended horribly. Like it looks like it looks like a mess. So I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. It's an interesting idea though, because like, you know, you're tackling like fixation and, you know, stuff, which is interesting. But yeah, so that's it.
Yeah. Also, the fact that the movie's only like 2 hours and like 12 minutes or something. That's also
I was surprised by that, because like I thought it would be longer than that.
Yeah, because you look at the plot, you think it'd be like an epic or something like that, but no, that's not at all what they're going for apparently. But yeah. So if you guys are excited for The Death and Life of John F. Donovan, it does come out to, I believe, VOD on December 13th. I know if you're in Canada or things like that, this film has already come out, but it hasn't come out in America till then, because I guess they just have that little confidence in the movie. But I guess look forward to it. So you guys remember how I said that Netflix will occasionally make something that will show their force to be reckoned with? Yeah, well then every now and then, well, more than often, they will continue to make films like this next one we're going to be talking about. And here with me for this one, once again, is Auburn Wanderer, as well as FilmFano599 and Timothy Anderson, especially these two, who I know are just huge fans of Michael Bay overall, to talk about one of their most anticipated films of the entire year. That, of course, being 6 Underground.
What if I told you I know what happens when you die? You become a ghost.
No more criminal records.
No more office parties or stupid weddings.
The best part of being dead is the freedom. No policies or politics.
No one touch. He's mine.
Oh, 6 Underground overall. I mean, look, what can I say about this one? It's a Michael Bay movie. There's already going to be an expectation for it. But I will say this. It does not look as bad as you would expect it to. It definitely doesn't look good. I won't say that. It definitely has like the tropes in there of like the really bad, cringy dialogue. The CGI just looks really bad and things like that. But there definitely are some performance. Like Ryan Reynolds seems like he's going to do an all right job for the most part. But the one thing I will say about this trailer is that I can't really tell you what this movie's about, and the trailer's like 3 minutes long, so it kind of failed to do its job in that way. But just in general, I don't really have much excitement for this film. I didn't have much excitement in general, but it just doesn't really seem like it's going to deliver all that much. But I will say, if Netflix wants to be like a hub for Michael Bay to put his movies out, I'm definitely for that, because at least he's not putting things out in theaters. I guess this is still a way for him to work, but like not put movies in theaters. And I don't know. This looks fine, I guess. I don't really have a ton to say about it.
I don't know what this movie is about. I haven't seen the trailer for this movie. I've seen the horrible fucking poster, like you would expect from a Michael Bay movie. The only reason I'm talking about this movie is because it is a Michael Bay movie. And listen, Michael Bay, you know, he may be a cool guy, even though I've heard some stories about him. But regardless of that, I've heard some stories about him, but he might be an alright guy. His movies are fucking garbage. So from what I've seen, I don't have any interest in this movie. I'm only talking about it because Michael Bay's in it and Kevin wanted me to join for it. I probably will watch this because Kevin's going to force me to.
Yeah, no, dead ass.
And that's that. Is this gonna be in theaters, or is this just gonna be an only Netflix
I
one?
think it's probably gonna be like limited, but like
Oh
No,
gosh.
it's just Netflix.
Okay, good, because if it was in select theaters, I may just go for the meme.
I mean, we're seeing Cats for the meme, so
but that's an Oscar contender. Like that's the difference. But like this
This is a Razzie contender.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I mean, I just fuck Michael Bay.
Oh yeah, one other thing, because I forgot to say it. Yeah, that poster though, wow. I didn't know that
graphics design is my passion.
I didn't know that Michael Bay was making Bollywood movies now, but go for it, man. I guess continue to find new ways to reinvent yourself, I guess. But yeah.
Nope. No. Do you remember when I was talking about 47 meters down?
Yeah.
And I saw it, and it's the worst movie I've seen all year.
Yeah.
This is the thing that could actually beat 47 meters down.
Mm.
This movie looks awful. I'm not even thinking. I don't even know if I'm gonna watch it, and it's free. It just like Michael Bay is just he needs to quit Hollywood. I'm sorry. I don't care if his movies make $1 billion, which unfortunately they do sometimes. Like, I mean, I'm saying this as a person who grew up on Transformers, his Transformers, not the 80s Transformers. He is not a good director. I want him to just quit Hollywood altogether. This movie looks like trash. The trailer was garbage. I barely made it through. I kept pausing it and asking myself, is this really worth just finishing? But I finished it, and it was the longest 3 minutes of my life. The poster is awful. It's probably the worst poster I've seen all year. I mean, it legit. God, what is to say about this? Ryan Reynolds, I thought you were doing good movies again, bro. What the hell, man? What the hell? Why? Like, why? Why did Netflix decide, oh yeah, we're making Irishman, we're making Marriage Story, but we also have this stupid looking action movie coming out?
Yeah,
But,
no,
hey.
for real. Like Netflix is like finally on a good path, and yet they're still doing shit like this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, sure, we had The Night Before Christmas, but which I never watched.
It's not very good. It's not as
I've
bad
heard.
as you think, but it's not.
I mean, it looked like trash from the trailer, but
it's
there's no way in hell it'll be worse than this. This could be the worst Netflix movie I've seen all year.
Mm.
So it might as well be. I'm gonna watch it, but I'm probably gonna be wasted when I do.
Mm-hmm. Even though you just said you wouldn't, you don't know if you're gonna watch it.
Well, he said if he's wasted. That's the difference, Kevin.
That is true. That is true. That's the big distinction.
That's all I got to say about that.
Kind of like with Caden. The only reason I'm here is because Kevin just wanted me to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, Kevin likes forcing people into things.
Yeah.
Hell
he's the
yeah, I
only-
love being an obnoxious fucking asshole cunt. Yeah.
Get the fuck up.
Yeah.
Anyways, this doesn't look good. This just looks like, what can I say? It just looks like your typical Michael Bay action movie. What else is there to say? Like, it looks bad. It looks awful.
You say.
It's a Netflix movie, which could be a good sign sometimes, but it also could be a really bad sign sometimes. And this is that case.
For movies like this, most of the time it's a bad sign.
But yeah, this looks bad. This looks really bad. Ryan Reynolds, his poor soul, he's trying, but this does not look it. This ain't it, Chief. This ain't it.
So if you guys are excited for Six Underground overall, it comes on to Netflix on December 13th. I guess look forward to it. I mean, there's got to be an audience out there because Michael Bay continues to make these movies and people will still go to see them. And even though they're not coming to theaters anymore, I mean, clearly Netflix knows they're going to do really well, like money-wise, even though they never publicly talk about how much, ratings and earnings and things like that they make. I mean, this is probably going to do really well well, because, well, it's Michael Bay and people like very mindless entertainment, so go nuts, I guess. But that's everything coming out on December 13th, of course. Jumanji, Black Christmas, Richard Jewell, Uncut Gems, A Hidden Life, Seberg, Death and Life of Jonathan Donovan, and Six Underground. All of those are coming out on December 13th. But up next, guys, we have a film that I'm sure everyone is very hyped for and definitely is not going to cause tons of scrutiny and tons of just, you know, Twitter fights and divide the entire nation around the world. Definitely not going to do that at all. And similar to Uncut Gems, I got an almost full panel here with me. We got, once again, Auburn Wanderer, as well as Film Fan 599, the biggest fan of this property that I know, as well as Jackson Fulcher and Adam Haskell, as well as Timothy Anderson. All of us are here to talk about the highly anticipated, but also a film that people are very skeptical about. That, of course, being Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
We're not alone. Good people will fight if we lead them.
People keep telling me they know me. No one does.
But I do.
Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. What an interesting film that totally isn't going to divide the entire internet and just throw everyone into a frenzy. But regardless, overall, I am very excited for this film. I think this has tons of potential for sure. And look, a lot of people have said, oh, why aren't they telling us what this is about? I actually love the fact that, similar to Endgame, we can go into this movie and not really know what the movie's about, not really know what the actual plot is going to be, where this is actually going to go, because this has tons of potential for sure. And especially at the end of The Last Jedi, I mean, they very much went into uncharted territory at this point, and I'm very excited to see what they do. I was worried for a while that they were going to try to retcon a bunch of elements of The Last Jedi, but it very much seems like they're not doing that here, which I'm very happy about. It's also going to be really cool to see everyone together. That's something that we haven't really seen in any of these films. We haven't seen Rey and Poe and Finn and them like as a group. So that's something else I'm very excited for. I think that's going to be very interesting. The incorporation of the Emperor is something I'm a little bit worried about. I'm not going to lie. I don't really know if they're going to pull it off, but it's cool that he's coming back. It's cool that they're getting Ian McDiarmid back, you know, and I hope that whatever they end up doing with him, it ends up being something really great and doesn't just feel like they shoehorn him into the story. Billy D. Williams, though, as Lando, hell yeah. I'm so excited to see what he ends up doing here. I also am a little worried about what they're going to do with Carrie Fisher as well with the 8 minutes they're showing. I'm not entirely sure if that's going to fit into this, but I guess we'll have to see. I know J.J. Abrams has like tons of admiration for her and things like that, and I hope that doesn't get in the way of the story. But overall, like I said, I think this has a lot of potential to be a really great final installment for sure. Again, we don't really know what's going on here. We don't really know a lot of what is happening plot-wise, but I don't even need to really know. I mean, the visuals, the music, just knowing where they can take this story, that's what has me excited. That's what has me really intrigued to see where they can really go. When you have a film like The Last Jedi that's divided so many people, it can be very hard to even tell where to take the story. So I'm excited to see where Abrams really does decide to go. I have a lot of faith in him that he's going to turn out something really great here, just like Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. Yes, I said it, The Last Jedi. And yeah, I'm definitely very excited to see how this one turns out. So easily one I'm most anticipated of the rest of the month for sure.
Well, it's a funny coincidence we're doing this today because I just rewatched the trailer that came out like a month ago for this because a special look just came out a few hours ago when we're filming this.
Right.
And so I watched. I'm like, I'm gonna watch the trailer again for this. Not thinking about how we were doing this filming session today. But listen, I thought The Last Jedi was a mediocre movie at best. Obviously I'm gonna rewatch it, but I thought it was just kind of I think The Force Awakens was great. I still haven't seen Rogue One, and Solo was a disaster. But this film right here looks fucking incredible. And the complaint that they're not showing what it's about, like, why do people care?
Yeah, exactly. They were
like everyone when Endgame came out was so cool about it.
Yeah.
And now everyone's like, why are you guys showing me to go?
Well, because The Last Jedi was the worst movie in the world, so we got to get Star Wars fans back on board again.
Like everyone just has this such stupid bias towards Star Wars now, and it's so dumb. Like, bro, I thought their last 2 movies they did were kind of meh, but like, I don't fucking give a shit because this is a new movie, okay? They heard the criticisms, and I think they're going to improve on it, okay? You know, I think this looks fucking amazing. Visually, this film looks so striking, so beautifully composed, and like, you know, it looks very, very emotional and just heavy at points, you know, in terms of like, you know, like emotion and like character. It's because the thing that's gonna be so interesting about this film is like Rey as a character. It's like she's been trying to figure out herself for this whole time, and now she's getting at that point now, like in the trailer, she's like, everyone's been trying to tell me like, you know, who I am. I think that's the line she says or something like that. To this extent, and it's like, and now you also, you know, got like, you know, Kylo, what's going on with him, and you know, Finn, and you know, like this whole dynamic. It's like, and Poe, you know, it's just like it's gonna be so interesting because, you know, basically, all the original cast is gone. I mean, we got Lando, you still got, you know, Chewbacca and stuff, and you know, you'll have, you know, General Leia, you know, for like 8 minutes. We'll see how that goes. I'm a bit worried about that, but we'll see how it goes. But like, I mean, besides that, this to me looks like what makes Star Wars so good. And it's gonna have like fun moments that are just so, you know, it's such a spectacle and just so, you know, magical at points, but it's gonna have like that darkness and like, you know, that character, you know, study, because like people don't like to address this, but the whole story of Star Wars is a character study.
Oh yeah, it definitely is.
It is. So it's like, I think it's so interesting how we're taking Rey, who's such a great character to begin with, and now doing this, because I'm one of the people that doesn't give a shit about who her parents are, because to me, I don't think it really matters. It matters who she is, because she doesn't know who she is, and they're going to address that. And also, like, what's going on with Kylo and like their relationship, like where is that going to go now? And you know, it's like what's happened with the Emperor and that stuff. I mean, that stuff, we'll see what happens. I mean, they're hiding that obviously for a reason. We'll see how that comes into play, but you know, let's see what happens. I mean, I think it looks fantastic, and you know, I'm very excited. I'm seeing it that Thursday night in IMAX Laser 3D with my boy right here, Film Fan. We gonna have a good old time. I'm very excited. So yeah.
Yeah, I would argue that that Rey actually not knowing, you know, like who her parents are makes her actually a better character, because she can be independent in that way.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, obviously she comes from some sort of like, you know, origin of like the Jedi or whatever, you know, Skywalker or whatever. But like, I mean, even if they end up revealing it in this film, to be honest with you, it's like, you know, I
people just complain because of the Reddit theories.
Yeah, like we'll see what happens and stuff. But like people just hate mystery. It's so dumb.
It's stupid. It's stupid.
I hope this movie rips off Endgame by having time travel.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
Anyways, sorry.
I hope it makes more money than Endgame.
I hope it doesn't, because Endgame's a special movie in my heart.
It was a
but
joke.
I don't care.
Endgame's overrated, Jackson.
Anyways,
joke is overrated now because it made.
Let Jackson talk.
Jesus. Anyways, Star Wars. Shut up. Anyways.
Oh man, that Star Wars movie looks.
Oh my God! Let him talk.
Anyways, Star Wars is terrible. Just kidding. It's just terrible to talk about Star Wars with people because of how divided it is. Whatever. I don't care. Rise of Force Awakens, I thought was great. Reintroduction to this new story and the old one. The Last Jedi, I liked it a lot when I first saw it, and I saw it again, and it faltered a little bit, but I still enjoyed it. But this one, it looks great. I'm glad J.J. Abrams is back because he's a great director. I thought he did a great job with Force Awakens. I've liked all his movies that he's directed. I just think he's a really cool guy. So I'm glad he got to close out this trilogy after they had problems with Colin Trevorrow, even though they've had problems with almost every other director that they've hired. So it's not really all that new. But whatever.
Thank God he's not.
I'm glad we're going to see the end conclusion of all these characters that I like, Rey and Kylo and Poe and Finn. I'm wondering how they're going to utilize Leia in this, because they're just going to use deleted scenes from Force Awakens that never got used.
Yep.
Which is interesting.
Only 8 minutes.
which is interesting to say the least. But I mean, if they found a way to make it work, then I hope it works really well. We haven't seen a lot of Rose in this, but I'm interested to see what kind of role she's going to play after Last Jedi. If they're going to downplay her more, or if she's going to have like an equal amount of role as she did in the last one. The new characters, Kerry Russell is playing somebody. I don't know who she is, but can't wait. Okay, I don't care. You have this new girl. I'm forgetting the name. I think it starts with a J, but can't wait to see him. A new droid, a new cute droid to be with the other cute droid BB-8. That's cool. Probably. It seems like this movie's going to be pretty emotional. At least the trailer was edited to seem like it was pretty emotional with the music and the C-3PO moment. I'm not sure about the Emperor though. That's the one thing I always keep thinking about, because that's kind of like any way I'm trying to think about it, it seems dumb.
It's negative.
Unless there is something that is like, okay, that's actually a cool way to bring that in. But from what they're making it out to be, it's like he's back. Like there's that shot of like this tall thing looming over Rey, and it's like the implication.
It could be like a Force ghost or something.
And if it is, then cool. But if he's like back, that might be a huge towards the film. Personally, that's the one thing I'm worried about, because that is kind of like at the end of Last Jedi, you were declaring like we're moving forward with our own thing. That's what Kylo Ren's big speech was, like, let the past die. And now they're just like, Emperor Palpatine is gonna have a role in this. So I don't know. I just gotta wait. Whatever. I can't wait for the new stuff, but I'm glad to see this trilogy come to a close. Would it have been better if they had like one specific voice run the entire trilogy instead of just them dicking around with whatever, like J.J. Abrams for this one, Ryan Johnson for this one, then Colin for this one? Actually, never mind Colin. We're gonna fire him like we're gonna fire these other guys.
Josh Trank.
Maybe it would have been better if they did, but hey, they got a solid story so far. So can't wait to see how they close it. And the last time we're gonna hear John Williams music for Star Wars.
Whoa, oh, that just got me emotional.
Also, watch The Mandalorian. It's great.
It is.
Rise of Skywalker. It looks like a piece of shit. The Last Jedi is the worst movie ever made.
Oh yeah.
I'm actually gonna remake that movie. I'm really excited to do that.
And take out all the female characters.
Yeah, I'm excited.
They ruin the movie.
To remake it, because that movie fucking sucks. Hashtag not my Luke, and hashtag not my Roderick. So, in all seriousness, yeah, this movie looks beautiful. The trailers aren't really showing anything, but I love that.
Yeah.
I'm not like John Campea. And yeah, it looks really beautiful. It looks very different. And of course, the acting all looks great. The visual effects look probably the best they've ever fucking looked, to be honest with you.
Oh, hell yeah. Definitely.
And yeah, like I said, the trailers aren't really showing much, but I love that. It's a lot like Endgame in that way. And I'm really excited to see what they do with this. I think it's going to be really, really special, and I can see it being the best of the new Star Wars movies, to be honest with you.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
What can I say? It's Star Wars. Of course I'm looking forward to it. I already have my tickets, for God's sakes. I'm seeing it the Thursday it comes out. But like Jackson, Caden, and Kevin said, I'm really excited to see this trilogy close out. But I agree with them. I don't know how to feel about the Emperor coming back. It doesn't really feel right. But, I mean, I'm still really excited to see these characters come back, and it looks fantastic. Abrams is back, and I freaking love The Force Awakens. I admit it right now. It's one of my favorite Star Wars movies. It's like top 5. Rogue One is good, but not good upon rewatch. I guess it's fun, but not great.
It's not that great.
Freaking love The Last Jedi. Not as much as Force Awakens, but I think it's good. Or great, sorry. Didn't like Solo. I don't even remember anything that happens in Solo. So yeah, I'm really excited to see how Disney can, I mean, Lucasfilm can like try to get the fans back to how Star Wars feels. Even though I feel like fans are slowly regenerating back because of the Mandalorian being so good, and with Ewan McGregor coming back as Obi-Wan Kenobi for the Disney Plus show, and I'm really excited to hear John Williams' last score for Star Wars. C-3PO's moment in the trailer almost made me cry alone. It was really sad to me. But this movie looks fantastic. The trailers kept me interested. The special book was really good. It was really emotional. I'm really excited to see how it goes, and I cannot wait for the 19th. I even requested the whole day off of work for it. So, and I'm seeing the movie after.
Your special movie.
Yes, it is. Oh, and also get your copy.
Even though I don't play video games, but sure. I endorse it anyway.
It's a really good game.
Shut up, Boomer.
It's so good. All right.
Oh, yes. I guess we had to save the...
Your least anticipated.
Save the most enthusiastic person about this movie for last. So, okay, what... Honestly, at this point, what could I really say for my excitement for this film that I haven't said already? Yeah, this is definitely my most anticipated film for the rest of the year. As everyone knows, I am a huge Star Wars fanatic. It's like Toy Story, wrestling, and Star Wars. Those are like the three things.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's like those things I love the most. Those are the things that mean the most to me. I have been a Star Wars fan since I was a young Padawan, as if you would say. Yes. But no, I've been enjoying these movies ever since I was little. I've loved the story throughout the entirety of my life, and it's coming to its close now. Like, not just this sequel trilogy, but this whole Skywalker story is coming to, hopefully, its fulfilling close. I think this movie looks absolutely phenomenal. I have loved everything that I've seen so far from this movie, from the trailers to its posters to its marketing, whatever you name it. I think they are really trying to go out on the highest note possible for this story. And, you know, I just think it looks absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to see what they're going to do with Rey, Kylo. You know, I know everybody's really worried about the Palpatine stuff. I will even admit I'm a little bit kind of about it, but I'm still excited to see if it's done right. I'm excited to see what they could do with it. But, you know, it just looks great. Like, this just looks like hopefully what everything that Star Wars movie needs to be. As Caden did mention, I am seeing this opening night with him in IMAX 3D.
IMAX Laser 3D, baby, the ultimate experience.
Yes.
Hell yeah. And so he's going to witness me being mess in the theater. So that's going to be great.
Not only are you going to take off one pair of glasses, you're going to have to take off two.
You know what? Just for fun, you should do 3.
Oh, yeah.
But all seriousness, I think this movie looks absolutely fantastic, and I'm going to be rewatching all the movies soon in preparation for this, so I can really have just that fulfilling just experience, seeing just the story come to an end. So I'm really excited about this, and yeah. Thank you, Kevin, once again for having me on for this movie preview and all the other movie previews you had me on for this year. I don't think there's a person that's been on more movie previews than me this year. Pretty sure everyone's sick of me on his channel by now, but no.
And you're also here weekly for The Mandalorian, so.
Yep. But no, seriously, thank you. I always appreciate you bringing me on here and doing these movie previews and stuff. And I always have a great time with them, even if some of them could go overly long. But, you know, it's always a good time. It's always a good time. It's always a good time. So, yeah, thank you once again. I hope everyone has a good Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, all the shit. So, yeah. Thank you once again. And I'm Film Fan 599. And we'll see you all later. Peace. Back.
And that's a wrap. So if you guys are excited for Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, it does, of course, come out on December 20th. Hoping that this can be a very epic conclusion for sure. But next up, we have a film that once again is causing a lot of controversy. Whether that's warranted or not, that's up for you guys to decide. But here once again with me for this one, we do have once again Auburn Wanderer, as well as Adam Haskell making his final appearance in this movie preview. But once again, someone who has been here for a while, but he is back for this one, Andrew Hayes, here to talk about the highly anticipated, although I'm not entirely sure if that's for the right reasons, Cats.
Come on! Let's dance!
I judge a cat by its soul.
I've got plenty of soul.
Spotlight. And a drum roll, please.
So, Cats, overall, what an interesting journey I've had with this film, because I started off this year not understanding how this could possibly be a movie. Cats is a film that doesn't really have a huge plot. It's very much just cats are at this Jellicle ball. One of them knows that they're going to be crowned the Jellicle cat and things like that, and we cycle through all the different characters' hopes and dreams and seeing their struggles and why they want to become that Jellicle cat and things like that. And there just isn't a lot going on story-wise. But surprisingly, after watching the trailer, I do have a little bit more hope for it. The one thing I will give it is that I think visually, besides the look of the cats, because that's definitely something that I know a lot of people have a lot to say about. I think visually it definitely looks really good. I think that it's going to look very creative and things like that, and that's definitely something that I am overall excited for. The cast here, I definitely am excited for as well. I fucking love Jennifer Hudson in anything. I think she's one of the greatest entertainers working today, and I'm very excited to see what she ends up, one of the greatest singers for sure. I think she definitely has a lot of potential here, and I'm excited to see what she ends up doing here. In terms of, like I said, what the film is going to do, again, it's really anyone's guess at this point how they're going to give this more of a story, but I'm excited to see what they do end up doing here. Tom Hooper's a director that, I adore Les Mis. I adore like the other big musical film that he's done. So I have hope that he can deliver something really good here for sure. And then the CGI, look, I personally don't think it looks all that bad. I think definitely it works. It definitely, yes, it can be jarring for some people, but considering the way it looked in the musical, it's really not all that far off to me, and I don't really think that the controversy is all that warranted, at least to me. I don't think it's scary at all. I've been known to say that if you think cats look scary, you're kind of a wimp. I still very much agree with that, and yeah, again, I'm not hyped for it. I'm not dreading it either. I'm very much just in the middle. I think that it definitely has potential. I think it could definitely be something really good. But we'll just have to see where it does end up going. But what do you have to say, Caden?
Well, as in the great words of Bella Luna, meow. That's all I have to say.
Well, where are Bella and Luna?
They're sleeping!
That was...
Well,
Caden, true words have never been spoken.
Thank you,
you have nothing else to say?
Yeah, that's what I'll say.
Wow, that's great.
I do have some thoughts on it I could say, but I feel like that's all I need to say.
Yeah, that's all.
Fine. Well, fine. That's all you get. That's all you get. I mean, you're in this too much anyway, so that's all you get.
Oh, shut up!
Wow. Just meow you.
All right. Here we go.
This looks like the worst movie of all time. Like, it looks so scary. And, like,
not really, no.
I'm probably never going to watch it. The CGI is some of the worst I've ever seen, to be honest with you. And yeah, the trailer almost killed me. And yeah, I can't believe Kevin actually thinks this has potential. This movie looks horrible, and this is my least anticipated movie of all time. And fuck Kevin, he's a piece of shit. I hope he...
Oh, more than Trolls World Tour, okay.
Honestly, yeah. Fuck you, Kevin. I hope you die in a fire, and
all right.
I hate you, and I hope your dad cuts off your dick. So yeah.
Wow.
Fuck this
Okay.
movie. Fuck Kevin. And fuck the world.
Words of the duck. Meow. Nah, I'm not gonna do that because I'm not stupid like Kevin. But okay, so I am not really a big fan of the director's previous work. I mean, I do enjoy Les Mis for what it is, mainly because of one, Sir Hugh Jackman. I don't think he's a sir, but I called him sir, so that's how it's gonna be.
Yeah, he's not fucking Ian McKellen, who is in this
Shut up!
movie.
This is my turn to talk. And I do not like The King's Speech. I think that movie is ass.
Your ass.
Shut up! Again, please let me talk. I think the visuals look pretty jarring, like Kevin said. I am on the side that they do look pretty jarring. The cats do kind of freak me out. Kevin, I know what you're thinking. Shut your mouth. But no, the cats look like freaky deaky, and I'm not about it. And I also wasn't a fan of the trailer. I thought the trailer it just didn't excite me. And the fact that Kevin says, this really doesn't have, it's not really all that great of a plot in the thing.
Well, it's not that it doesn't have a great plot. I just don't think it's one that lends itself to a full-on, like a full movie.
Like, I don't know. That just feels like it's not going to be the musical or movie that I would like it to be. But I don't know. Stranger things have happened. It could end up being really good. Who knows?
Yeah, subscribe to my channel. I never upload on it, but subscribe to it. It's Adam Haskell, I think is what it's called right now. I'm not sure.
It's not Ladam Haskell?
No, but there will be a channel for him soon.
Oh shit, okay.
It's gonna be a cooking channel, so subscribe to that even though you can't.
Okay, I'm very, very excited for that now.
Subscribe to that, even though you can't right now. So yeah, and yeah, thank you. Peace.
All right, and now I'm officially done. So if you guys are looking forward to Cats, it does come out on December 20th. Definitely look forward to it, although I know some people are seeing it for pure meme reasons, and I can completely understand why. But going back to films that I think could potentially be really big Oscar contenders, we have a film that I'm very excited for. Here once again with me is Auburn Wanderer and Jackson Fulcher to talk about the highly anticipated Bombshell.
You may have heard there was a dust-up involving yours truly and presidential contender Donald Trump.
There was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her wherever.
Oh my God. Did he just accuse me of anger menstruating? Wait, am I going to be the story? No. No. I'm going to be the story. No.
Nobody stops watching because of a conflict. They stop watching when there isn't one.
All right, so Bombshell overall. This is a film that I've been very interested for a while, ever since I heard that, like, they were going to do, like, a Fox News film, kind of, like, you know, exposing them for all of their corruptness and things like that. I was excited to see how this would turn out, and I'm very excited to see this one for sure. I think this has tons of potential. I mean, the cast here is so stellar, and especially Charlize Theron. I mean, I saw a random clip of Megyn Kelly. It was, like, on a Watch Mojo video or something, and it is, like, startlingly accurate how similar that she really does look here. Like, at times, you would think that it was actually Megyn Kelly. Like, that's how good that casting is, and I'm hearing that she gives one of her best performances ever. I hear that she really does do an excellent job here, and people think that she could possibly get some Oscar love. Margot Robbie as well, I'm hearing like tons of praise about. And then of course Nicole Kidman, I mean, one of the best actresses working today. Put those three in, immediately I'm sold. But then you factor in the story here, and it really seems like this is going to do something rapidly different than what The Loudest Voice did earlier this year, because that was a concern of mine, is that we just had a mini series about Roger Ailes, I think is how you pronounce it.
It's Roger.
Okay, Roger
Ailes.
Ailes. There we go.
Stupid. Fuck.
Roger Ailes. Okay,
You
we
have
just had a
term.
mini series about him. So I was worried how that was going to turn out if but it looks like they're doing something much different here. This is way more about the women that were abused by him, how they were manipulated by the system, all that kind of stuff. And then Margot Robbie kind of playing this girl that is so excited to be on this team and then kind of probably eventually realize just how dark and how messed up all this, everything that's going on is. And John Lithgow also looks like he's going to do some excellent work here for sure. But like I said, it really does seem like this is surrounded on the women, and it seems like it's going to do a really good job of that. I think this movie has tons of potential for sure. It very much seems like it could be like the Vice of the year in that way, where it really exposes it really exposes this side of people for like the corruptness that they did and like the kind of people that they were. And I'm excited to see how that really does turn out here for sure. And just in general, I think this is a movie that has tons of potential and definitely one of my most anticipated of the entire month for sure. And yeah, Jackson, stop fucking recording me.
I wasn't.
Boomer. Piece of shit.
Okay, boomer.
Wow. Yes. So, speaking of another movie I think is going to be great that did not have a good trailer, but I mean, the teaser from this movie was fantastic, but the actual trailer for this movie was, not good. I love Billie Eilish, but that music choice was no. But look, let me just say this about this fucking movie. This film to me looks like a film that's going to be really, really hard to watch at times, but that's why I think it looks as good as it does. The acting in the trailer looks so good. It looks like there's going to be so many just powerful, like haunting in a way, performances. I mean, from that teaser trailer, you get that sense anyways. But then when you see the actual trailer, while the dialogue is in there, it just looks like even more just like, wow, you know what I mean? This film to me just looks really, really powerful. And I'm very interested in seeing how it is overall once we all see the final product. And speaking of another movie I'm probably seeing with this fucker Kevin,
hello.
And yeah, so that is that.
Oh yeah, one more thing I wanted to say, and then I'll cut to Jackson. Yeah, the teaser for this film though is probably one of the best that I've seen all year. I mean, it's such an effective way of like having so much tension and so much drama through almost a completely wordless teaser, and really just says a lot about what this movie is going to be. All these women are kind of in the know of like all these secrets that's being kept and things like that, and again, that also has me very intrigued. I think this is going to be a film that really does. I mean, obviously, we know a lot about, the corruptness of Fox News and how biased they are and things like that. But I think this film is really going to get more into all that stuff, who Roger Ailes really was, how he was towards women and, how he abused them and the manipulation and all that stuff. And I think just in general, it has a lot of potential for sure. So definitely one of my most anticipated of the entire month.
Hello.
Hello.
So I watched The Loudest Voice earlier this year. Really great limited series. I thought they did a really good job on that. But this movie, I think, really does have the potential to go a little bit beyond that too, because as good as The Loudest Voice I thought it certainly was limited in certain areas. Like Megyn Kelly wasn't present at all, and they don't really show like they focus more so on Gretchen Carlson, but every other woman is kind of more treated as like a random side character that pops up, which wasn't bad for how they used it for that show. But I like the idea of this movie really getting us invested with them. We're having Megyn Kelly with Charlize Theron, who looks fantastic. Nicole Kidman, who's now playing Gretchen Carlson, not Naomi Watts from The Loudest Voice. I hope she can do. Really interesting to see which performance was better. Margot Robbie is playing. I don't know if she's playing someone who was in the show.
It's an original character. It's an original character.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah.
It's an original character that's like based off of like
okay.
It's based off like very ambitious like reporters.
So like the Patriots Day Mark Wahlberg character, where he represented just a bunch of
basically.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So either way, like she'll probably still do a really great job. Like we got a great cast here. I think they're gonna focus on all the right things. I hope so. The guy who wrote The Big Short, which is a movie I like, but Jay Roach directing, he's focusing more on like more serious movies, like he did Trumbo with Bryan Cranston, and then All the Way with Bryan Cranston too. So I kind of like that he's kind of taking the Adam McKay kind of route, where he used to do a lot of comedies. Now they're trying to do more serious stuff, and I really hope this is a home run for him. I'm really rooting for him, honestly, because this looks like it could be really good, despite the trailer music, which was very jarring to say the least. But either way, I'm still excited to see what the actors do, like John Lithgow as Roger Ailes. It'll be interesting to see. I don't know if it'll be better than what Russell Crowe did, but I think he'll be able to, because John Lithgow's a great actor just in general. I think he'll be able to still deliver something very chilling and very scary. So I'm very excited to see how they approach this topic, because we already had that one from The Loudest Voice. Now we have a movie, shorter time, but you could still do something really impactful with that. So I'm very excited to see this. Also, fuck Trump.
Yes. Yeah. And that score was so jarring, in fact, that the second they put it on, when I saw Midway, there was a guy that audibly sighed. So that tells you a lot about just how well that music choice really does fit.
Yeah, that guy's just being a Billie Eilish hater. You know, fuck them, okay?
So if you guys are excited for Bombshell, it does come out, I believe, in limited theaters on December 13th, but then it's going to expand on December 20th. Very, very excited for this one for sure. It has tons of potential to be a very great film, and I think it could be like the Vice or something of this year for sure. So the next two films I'm going to be talking about are both off streaming services that I'm going to be talking about with Auburn Wanderer, the first of which being The Two Popes.
Confidential church documents were allegedly leaked to the press,
alleging corruption
and misconduct among the clergy.
I hope this business is not too distressing.
Does a shepherd run away when the wolves appear?
We are moving in directions I can no longer condone.
I've struggled to do what must be done, but I've lost.
Popes can't resign. If you do this, you will damage the papacy forever.
I can no longer sit on the chair of St. Peter.
You are mistaken. You are...
Silence! I cannot play this role anymore.
So, Two Popes overall is a very interesting one, because on one hand, I want to be excited for this because of all the praise that it's gotten, and, you know, people have been talking about how good Jonathan Pryce is and that he should be, you know, getting Oscar consideration and things like that, and how good, and this is like the best Anthony Hopkins has been in years in terms of like movie roles, which is really great. But unfortunately, I can't get that excited because I'm not going to lie. The trailer, at least the first one, I haven't seen the new one. The first trailer I thought was really fucking boring. This to me seems like the definition of just kind of Oscar bait, and it doesn't really seem like something that's going to fascinate me all that much. I think the movie itself could be good. The one thing that definitely does hold it back, though, a lot of people are going to bring this up, Anthony McCartan is doing the screenplay, and if you know his other works, yeah, he doesn't have that great of a track record. I mean, I really like Theory of Everything, but every other movie he's done besides that is really fucking generic and like Oscar baity. So yeah, I don't have that many hopes for this one. I will say, like I said, acting wise, I definitely think it does look really good. It seems like the two actors are going to have really good chemistry and things like that. The cinematography also looks fucking incredible. The cinematography definitely seems like it's going to be really good here. And like I said, maybe this is a movie that I really do end up liking, but just from the trailer, I'm honestly surprised it's getting the amount of praise it is, because this to me just seemed like it was going to be something that's kind of boring, very Oscar baity in that way. And I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see. It doesn't look as Oscar baity as another film we're going to talk about a little bit later on, but not doing it for me.
I think it looks good. It just doesn't seem like a movie that's going to like really like interest me like the whole runtime. To me, it seems like it's gonna be like an acting, extravagant. Yeah, but like, besides that, like, I think the idea of like electing a new pope is a really interesting thing, because like I've read about it and stuff, because like I was gonna watch the new pope, but I never
the young pope is what it's called.
Oh, the young pope. I don't know.
The new pope is the new season.
Okay, I'm sorry, but like, I was like looking into that stuff because like that's part of what it's about, and I'm like, oh, this is really interesting process and how they do it with like the smoke and stuff. It's interesting.
Yeah.
But you know, that part of the movie I think I'm gonna find interesting. It's all the other stuff I'm not so sure if I'm gonna be that engaged with. Like how compelling and how fascinating are these subjects gonna be for me? Because this is gonna be a very character-driven film. And I just hope that I can connect with them, you know, in a way. I do want to see this in theaters though, because I have been seeing some Netflix movies in theaters, and this is, you know, like this is like their like trilogy this year of like big contenders, like, you know, this Irishman and Marriage Story. So I already saw Irishman and Marriage Story in theaters, so you know I got to see this one also to complete the trilogy. Yeah, so I hope it's good though. I mean, I heard it's really good, so yeah.
So if you guys are excited for The Two Popes overall, it does come out on December 20th online, although like I said, not online, on like Netflix and things like that. Although like I said, I do believe that it is in theaters right now, so I guess check it out if it's near you. And then also coming out on Amazon on December 20th is The Aeronauts.
Are you Miss Wren? I need to make studies of the air. I need you to fly us higher than anyone has ever been.
You even have a balloon?
Not yet. Will you help me?
You're incredibly late. Are you ready?
You have no conception of how ready I am.
So The Aeronauts overall, this is what I've been excited for a while now. As I just said, when talking about The Two Popes, I actually really do enjoy The Theory of Everything, and one of the reasons for that is the chemistry between Felicity Jones and Eddie Redmayne. I think those two worked really well together. So to see them doing another movie, that definitely has me excited. But then factoring in all the stuff we've heard about, like the visuals and things like that, which, why is this not coming to IMAX anymore? I really don't understand how that whole thing happened, but regardless, yeah, this looks really good. I'm definitely very interested in this one for sure. I think this seems like it's going to have some of the most exhilarating visuals of the entire year, but also does seem like it has a good story to ground it for sure. I like the fact that Felicity Jones is the main character in this, which is different from, you know, what we'd expect. And the whole thing with her being this pilot in a time that wasn't really celebrated and things like that, and that Eddie Redmayne's now tackling a lawn and they're trying to, you know, make all these discoveries, I think definitely seems like a really cool idea. And like I said, the visuals here look absolutely stunning. And just in general, I think this could be a really well done film if handled right. I just wish that it had a much bigger release, because I feel like this is a film that would be really great to see on like a big like IMAX screen or something like that. And the fact that we're being deprived of that is very disappointing, to say the least. I mean, I'm still excited to see it, but I don't think it's going to be as impactful as it would be if it was in, like, you know, a big, like, theater setting. And now we're going to turn it over to this piece of shit who actually does get to see it in theaters. So, whoop-de-doo.
Okay, I'm so sorry that I'm getting it in 70 millimeter. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Listen, that IMAX thing is one of the weirdest situations that like happened this year that no one talked about in terms of movie news.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
It makes no sense. The whole movie was shot with I don't get it, but it's in 70 millimeter.
Exactly.
So it's in 70 millimeter. That's the best way to say a movie, in my opinion. Besides IMAX or IMAX 70 millimeter. So you know, I mean, you know, I saw Joker in 70 millimeter, not in IMAX. But anyways, I don't know. I'm talking about Joker. Anyways, this film, I think it looks okay. Like, I think the acting looks fine, but like, I mean, Felicity Jones looks good. Eddie Redmayne, to me, I don't think he's that interesting of an actor, to be honest. But here's my thing with this movie. The characters, to me, seem like I'm just not gonna really care. Like, all the visual stuff and like the balloon type stuff, like that stuff looks fantastic. But like, it's like, to me, it's like, how much am I going to care though if I'm not that interested in the story anyways? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's my thing. I mean, you know, I'm going to go see it in 70 millimeters because it seems like a movie that's going to be great, you know, like in theaters and stuff. But it's unfortunate what happened with the IMAX thing though, because like it's so like weird why that happened.
Yeah, especially since it was a film designed for IMAX.
I think the whole thing was shot with IMAX cameras, so like I don't get it.
I'm pretty sure it was.
So yeah, I mean 7 millimeter is cool, but you know, whatever. Yeah, I mean I hope it's good, but to me it looks okay.
So if you guys are excited for The Aeronauts, like I said, it does come out on Amazon Prime on the 20th, although once again, I think it is going to be in a few theaters before then, although it's not getting the proper IMAX treatment that it does deserve, but whatever, regardless, it is still going to be in theaters, so definitely look forward to it then. But those are the films coming out on December 20th, of course. Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, Cats, Bombshell, Two Popes, and The Aeronauts. So now, guys, we go into the last week of December, the last week of this decade overall, starting off with a film. And, you know, December is a really big month. There's a lot of films that people are very excited for. A lot of people would say Uncut Gems, Marriage Story, Rise of Skywalker. For me, though, there is no film that I am more hyped for than this next film I'm going to be introducing here once again with Auburn Wanderer, and for his first of 2 appearances on this movie preview, 22 Tiger, talking about my most anticipated film for the rest of the year, that of course being Little Women.
I want to be an artist in Rome and be the best painter in the world.
That's what you want too, isn't it? Joe, to be a famous writer.
Yes, but it sounds so crass when she says it.
My girls have a way of getting into mischief.
Well, so do I. This is Meg, Amy, Beth, and Joe.
I intend to make my own way in the world.
No one makes their own way, least of all a woman. You'll need to marry well.
But you are not married, aren't you?
Well, that's because I'm rich.
Holy shit, Little Women overall. I have been hyped for this for a long time now. Ever since I heard that Greta Gerwig was doing an adaptation of Little Women and things. Like, just hearing that Greta Gerwig was doing another movie after Lady Bird gets me excited. But then knowing that it's going to be of Little Women, you know, such a respected story in that way, and have this incredible cast. I mean, I was pretty much on board, and I am so excited for this film. What I really love about this and what I'm hearing is that Greta Gerwig is taking the story of Little Women and kind of doing her own thing with it. It's going to be a film that relies on more themes than it does a cohesive story, which I think is a really interesting idea. She's going to focus a lot more on when they're on the, you know, when they go running away and things like that, which I think is really interesting. And oh my God, the cast here, you can't go wrong. I mean, Saoirse Ronan, Florence Pugh, Emma Watson, Eliza Scanlon from Sharp Objects, Meryl Streep, Laura Dern. I mean, just really solid cast overall. Everyone seems like they're going to give some amazing performances here. Timothée Chalamet as well. I mean, really everyone here just seems like they're going to do an excellent job. The cinematography here looks like it's going to be some of the best of the entire year. I'm very excited to see what Alexander Desplat brings to this film. I think he's going to do a really good job scoring it for sure. And I just think overall, this looks like it's going to be a really well done adaptation. And yes, we've had a lot of adaptations of this story for sure, but I think Greta Gerwig is going to do something different here. I've already heard she does something a lot different, and that overall gets me very excited for this one. I adore Lady Bird. I think Greta Gerwig is such a talented director in that way. I think she really has a knack when it comes to coming of age stories, and this is exactly the kind of film that she should be helming. This definitely is what she's trying to make, like her big like magnum opus and things like that, and I think it definitely has a lot of potential for sure. It's easily my most anticipated of the entire month. I know that's going to be an unpopular opinion for many, but it's a film that as we get closer to it, I just get more and more hyped for. This is the kind of film that I think has tons of potential. I think it's going to do something really great, and I'm very excited to see how Gerwig utilizes what she has here, because I think this is going to be something really well done for sure. For me, this looks like easily one of the best films of the entire year, and I'm definitely really hyped for it.
I'm pretty sure this movie is going to be really good. I love Lady Bird, but that trailer is not very good in my opinion. You know, just the way it's edited, to me, it just feels like a collage, like of like scenes together. It kind of comes across to me as kind of like one of those like Oscar reels that they show for like the best picture nominees. Like that's how the trailer comes across to me. I mean, I'm pretty sure the movie is going to be great. And I'm still very excited for it. But like to me, the trailer didn't really do much for me. But I mean, that cast and the Greta Gerwig's a fantastic filmmaker. I mean, just I mean, I'm really excited for it. And never thought me and Kevin are seeing it together. Well, this one's special because we're going to be seeing this on 35 millimeter.
Yes.
So that one's exciting. And yeah. So you know, I'm excited for it though. I mean, obviously, I love Lady Bird a lot, and I has a great talent behind it. It's just that trailer kind of let me a bit like, yeah. I don't know. I mean, you know, I feel like the actual movie is going to be a lot better. So, yeah, that's that.
All right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this movie, definitely. I enjoyed Lady Bird. I thought it was a pretty good movie, and I thought Greta Gerwig did a very good job with that movie. And I'm looking forward to seeing what she'll bring to Little Women. When I heard about that, I was like, oh, that's intriguing. But then I saw the trailer, and I was like, oh, now I'm a little bit more intrigued because I did enjoy the trailer a lot for Little Women. Cinematography-wise, it looks absolutely beautiful. I love the I love the color palette cinematography. It's honestly breathtaking, and obviously you can't go wrong with the cast. You got Saoirse Ronan, you got Emma Watson, Timothy Chalamet, Meryl Streep, Laura Dern, you name it, it's stacked here, and everyone looks like they're gonna be giving really great performances. Jackson's girl Florence Pugh, of course,
oh my God,
I have to mention her. I just
what a year she's having though.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just think the story honestly looks really interesting in my opinion, and I just can't wait to see where Greta really takes this adaptation, because I know how many adaptations have we even gotten for Little Women? Do you know?
This is like I think the 5th or 6th one.
Yeah. So with us having
really been that many.
So with us having that many adaptations, I'm curious to see Greta Gerwig's take on this one. So yeah, for sure, I'm definitely looking forward to Little Women.
So if you guys are excited for Little Women overall, like I said, it does come out on Christmas Day. I really do think this film could be something special, so really hope that it does deliver in that way. But switching gears entirely, we have a film that I have no idea why it's coming out on Christmas Day, but it is a film that I'm going to be discussing with both Auburn Wanderer and, for both of their final appearances, Andrew Hayes and 22 Tiger Dude, here to talk about whatever.
This is your next objective. None of our agents can get close to him. I have something that can help. It's called biodynamic concealment. Imagine if I can make you disappear. Hey, Lance, look at me.
Look at you? I can see my butt and your face at the same time.
That is so cool.
For the hell this is going to be Spies in Disguise. Spies in Disguise. I mean, look, I've said it before and I'll say it again. This has been an almost terrible year for animation. There's been some gems in there like Toy Story 4, and I really enjoyed Missing Link and Lego Movie 2 and How to Train Your Dragon 3 earlier in the year. I really love both of those as well. The Angry Birds movie 2, I definitely really did enjoy. But this to me just looks like another really generic, really just dumb animated film. I do like the cast here. Will Smith is someone that I always do root for him, even though he admittedly is rarely in good movies these days. I always do pull for him, though, that maybe this could be the one. Tom Holland, it's cool to see him in an animated film for sure, but this just looks really fucking dumb to me. This whole concept of like, oh, there's this secret agent, and then he gets, which I'm fine with the idea of, like Will Smith being the secret agent and like Tom Holland being like this guy that like makes inventions, like this kid that makes inventions and things like that. That's a fine idea. But then the second that Will Smith gets turned to a fucking bird, I just check out of it entirely. I think it just looks so dumb. It looks really obnoxious, and I hope it delivers more than I think it's going to. But this just seems like such a one joke kind of movie to me. Oh, he's a bird, and he has to, be a bird, but also be a spy at the same time. It just really doesn't seem like it's going to entertain me all that much. I don't know why people like say fucking Rachel Brosnahan is in this for some reason, but I guess we'll have to see how it turns out. I will say the animation here isn't all that bad. I do like the animation here for sure. But other than that, this just looks really dumb. And again, just seems like it's going to be a good way to wrap up just how bad of a year this has been for animation overall. But yeah.
I think that this movie does not look good, but this is not a movie I'm necessarily dreading, because to me this looks like just like a really just like nothing movie. Like there looks like nothing in here that's like offensive or anything like that. So like I mean, me and Kevin are seeing this together. We're gonna review it together. So
yes,
there is that. But yeah, I mean it doesn't look good, but it doesn't look like the worst thing ever. So yeah.
Also, why the fuck is DJ Khaled in this?
Oh my god! Now that I'm dreading. But that I'm dreading. But the rest of this movie, just whatever.
Another one.
All right. Speaking of another one, go ahead, Andrew.
Another one. Another one. Another one.
Yes, we get it. Do you have anything though of substance to say about this movie?
Another one.
All right, Tony, go ahead.
All right. I basically agree with what Caden said. It doesn't look good. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't look good. But at the same time, it doesn't look like one of the worst anime movies I've seen. It's not like Ugly Dolls. Like Ugly Dolls was just a terrible.
No, definitely not. I'll give you
that. And Arctic Dogs. I haven't seen the movie, but the trailer for Arctic Dogs. Holy hell!
Dogs.
Yeah, like I've seen all 4 trailers for Spies in Disguise in theaters, and honestly, none of them have made me cringe like Arctic Dogs' one trailer has. So yeah, it doesn't look very good. Obviously, it's dumb and all that, but at the same time, it's like what Caden said. There's nothing offensive about it. Nothing about it goes, oh my god, I can't freaking believe this. It just looks like a silly but harmless kids movie that looks very disposable and all that. And that's how I really see Spies in Disguise, to be honest. Like, yes, it's dumb, but it's like, to be honest, it doesn't look like one of the worst things ever. I've seen worse and dumber stuff, believe it or not, than this one, to be honest. So yeah, similar to Caden, I'm just kind of whatever on this movie. Like, it's a movie, it exists. I do like the cast and all that. And I do hope this is a better Will Smith animated movie than Shark Tale, which we did revisit earlier this year.
Oh my god.
And that did not hold up on the rewatch. So let's pray this is at least a better Will Smith animated movie than Shark Tale, which, by the way, is 15 years old. I do want to remind everyone that is a 15-year-old movie now. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Spies in Disguise.
Yeah, that's all we can hope for sure.
Well, as always, it was fun doing a movie preview, talking about all my favorite movies coming out in the month. Not like I talked about literally my 4 least favorite movies coming out the month of December. But it's always fun. Whether I'm talking about a bad movie, a good movie, or just an alright movie. Holler if you hear me.
Thank you so much, Kevin, for bringing me on. This was a lot of fun. I know. It's going to be a little hard to leave the 2010s decade. We're transitioning to the 2020s decade, but it's been a whole lot of fun. And yeah, just thank you for bringing me on. And I hope everyone just has happy holidays. Whatever you're celebrating, just have a good old happy holiday. And one more thing, make sure you drink plenty of splash water, because they really create a splash.
So if you guys are somewhat excited for Spies in Disguise, I guess look forward to it. I don't know why this is coming out when it is, but I guess, have fun if you do, whatever. But also coming out on December 25th is a film that I am extremely excited for, especially after all of the recent critical praise it has been getting. Here once again with his final appearance is going to be, besides Auburn Wonder, also Jackson Fulcher, and for his final appearance as well, Timothy Anderson, here to talk about 1917.
You have a brother in the 2nd Battalion.
Yes, sir.
They're walking into a trap. Your orders are to deliver a message, calling off tomorrow morning's attack. If you fail, it will be a massacre.
Let's talk about this for a minute.
Why? We've got orders to cross here.
That is the German front line.
1917 overall, I am very, very excited for this one. This is a film that I have definitely been looking forward to for a long time now. And you guys know war movies are not usually something that I really do love, but they've been really great lately. And this seems like it's going to be one that could end up being one of the best of this entire decade. I mean, everything about this just looks so intense and white-knuckled and gripping in that way. And especially the choice where almost this entire, I mean, I don't know if the entire movie, but like most of the movie is going to be shot in one take. That's definitely a very interesting idea. Sam Mendes at the helm. He's a very talented director. I'm very excited to see what he does here. And just the premise of it all, it's different from your typical war film. It's not about an actual war. It's about, or an actual attack. It's about preventing an attack. And basically the stakes that go into that, you know, the consequences that could occur if they fail and things like that. And it also seems like we're going to have some really solid characters here as well, which is always something you need to have in a war film, unless you're Dunkirk. You don't really need that in Dunkirk, but any other war film.
Shut the fuck up. Dunkirk is some of the best characters of the decade.
There's not any character. There really is not any character development.
Oh yeah, definitely not. It's not like one of them almost fucking dies.
But that's not a character development. That's just something that happens. I'm talking about
literally the fucking guy who is like commanding it, literally like accepts his fucking fate because like throughout the whole fucking movie, he's trying so fucking hard to get them all off the beach. Like, come on, dude. It has fucking
sure, but it's not in terms of like, that's not the main focus of the movie. It's focused on.
It doesn't fucking need to be.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying most war movies need it. Dunkirk's an example that didn't need it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Take a shot every time Kevin or Caden said fucking in there in that sentence.
Fuck.
Okay, shut up. I need to get through this.
Hey, Kevin, keep it down. You're being very loud right now.
Anyways, 1917, though, I think this has a lot of potential for sure. This seems like it's going to be one of the most intense films of the year. The cinematography here looks absolutely just stunning and just brutal and things like that. It really seems like this film isn't going to hold back. And you know, rave reviews about it and things like that. And just in general, I think this has potential to be one of the best of the entire year and definitely one that I am very excited for sure.
All right. 1917. This film looks amazing. So I saw the behind the scenes featurette for this one. I haven't seen any of the trailers, but I saw the behind the scenes featurette for this in front of Charlie's Angels. And
great movie.
Yes. And I mean, listen, that I'm happy I saw it and not the trailers, because that to me is the trailer. The behind the scenes footage is me wanting to see the fucking movie. Listen, I think that what Birdman did was incredible, but what they did here, if the film is edited and designed to look like it's all in one shot, I mean, it's just like, it's even more impressive than what Birdman did, because Sam Mendes points out something in the behind the scenes featurette that no location in the film repeats. No location. I mean, most war movies, not the locations don't repeat that often. I mean, sometimes they do, you know, but like not
different battles and shit.
Yeah, but not often. But in this one, like, there's no repeating of location, which means that they were always on the move. And here's the thing: these are long, grueling days on set because you're filming on location. Okay. And they talk about how once there's like certain scenes where they would have to stop filming a day, but that same scene was still going the next day of filming. So they had to make sure that the sun and like the clouds in the sky looked the same as it did that last day, and it would only be like that for like 5 minutes at a time.
Right.
So they would have to like they would get like 2 takes or 3 takes at most, and that would be it, you know. And clearly it worked because, you know, this film's getting rave reviews. But I'm so excited. I mean, the behind the scenes feature was amazing. It didn't show much footage from the movie. It just showed more behind the scenes footage, which I'm excited about. This movie has a great cast. I love Sam Mendes. I think he is a fantastic director. And I'm really hoping that Boston is getting this one on the Christmas, because I don't know if it will, but I really hope they do, because I really want to see this in theaters. I mean, I am going to, obviously, but you know, I want to see it. I want to see it like in regular first, because like IMAX is gonna have like a different aspect ratio, because like Roger Deakins, like his films always have different aspect ratios in IMAX, but which Roger Deakins is not a fan of, but I like it. By the way, Roger Deakins, I mean, come on, like I didn't know that. I was like, Jesus Christ, this movie's fucking be amazing. And I'm really excited for this film.
I mean, it doesn't look as good as Midway, but it looks okay.
Oh yeah. Midway's such a great film, you know.
Um, just joshing you. Well, when I saw the two trailers, I thought it looked fantastic. Couldn't wait to see it because Sam Mendes. I haven't seen all his films, but I love Skyfall and I like Spectre, but also American Beauty and Road to Perdition are excellent motion pictures. And I know he's made more that I haven't seen yet, but just those two films, excluding his Bond films, those two earlier on in his career are just so fantastic. So to see him kind of step away from Bond, of course, and now make a movie like this, like it looks absolutely stunning. The cinematography by Deakins looks incredible, and just the war sequences look so brutal and well depicted. Everything just seems so right from the trailers. And then they release the featurette, where it gets me even more pumped because I learned it's going to be, or made to look like, entirely one shot, and they explain the specifics behind it. And I was just like, oh my God, I was geeking out over the fucking technicalities of what they had to do to make it. And I was like, this is absolutely spectacular. I cannot wait to see this now even more, knowing that, because I wouldn't be able to pick that up from the trailers, knowing now that there's a whole lot more to this. It's going to try to look like one take, and we're going to be stuck with these two characters that are probably going to be really compelling the entire time. I'm really excited to see this movie. It's one of my most anticipated for the rest of the year, on a filmmaking level alone, but also as a story too. I think they're going to be able to really pull something great here, because you get a lot of you get some war films that are kind of maybe jingoistic, kind of phony, kind of hokey, like Midway. But then you see a movie like this coming out, and I think this is really going to tap into exactly what I love about war films. So I'm very excited to see this, and hearing the great praise that it's been getting with the early like social media statements. It gets me more pumped to see this. I'm so ecstatic to see what Sam Mendes does.
Oh, I can't wait. I've been super excited to see this movie since the first teaser came out. And with that featurette coming out, that came out too, just got me excited. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to wait till January to see it, because I don't think there's any other way for me to see this movie besides actually seeing it in IMAX.
Yeah.
Because when I saw Blade Runner 2049 in IMAX, blew me away. Roger Deakins is my favorite cinematographer of all time.
Oh, he's easily one of the best.
It's kind of sad that he only has one Oscar, but at least he has an Oscar now, finally.
Yeah.
Sam Mendes, he's one of my favorite directors. I love Skyfall. I mean, I really love Skyfall. I like Spectre. I don't love it like I did Skyfall, but I like it enough to, buy it. But I own every James Bond movie, so I freaking love American Beauty. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, and Road to Perdition's really good too. Not a lot of people remember that was Sam Mendes, but this movie just looks fantastic. And the composer, Thomas Newman, I cannot wait to hear his score and those blasting IMAX speakers. It's going to be fantastic. I cannot wait, and I predict that this one's actually going to be nominated for Best Picture.
It could happen. It could happen, definitely. I mean, the end of the year is so stacked. We don't know. But
I think it's a lock for Best Picture.
It could definitely slide in there for sure. But
and maybe Jenkins will have another cinematography Oscar.
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know about when, but
he definitely has a better chance of getting nominated for this than the Goldfinch. That's for sure.
Yeah, I didn't even see the Goldfinch, and I already know the movie. I mean, I really wanted to see it, but I heard it was so bad that I just skipped it.
Well, not just that. It just doesn't have any chance now because of it being so
bad.
Wow, the decade has come to a close. Thanks for bringing me on, Kevin. Like in the later half of this decade, I didn't really get to enjoy it that much. But thanks for when getting me on whenever you wanted to, man. It's been fun, except for that one time and maybe that other time, but we won't talk about those. It's been really great this 2 years of this decade, man, and I can't wait for the 2020s decade for more movie previews and junk like that. I hope to be like a film fan where I'm on every single one of them. I'm just so pumped for more movie previews in the 2020s decade. And if you want to see more from me, my name is Jackson Fulcher. You can follow me on YouTube or Twitter, whatever. I don't know, man. Just thanks for watching. Pussy.
All right.
Harry, thank you, Kevin, for inviting me on here today. I really appreciate it. It was really cool. It was really fun to do these 2 movie previews with you.
Yes.
I hope to be back again sometime in the future. Maybe, hopefully, maybe April, since it's my birthday, and I really want to talk about James Bond.
Hint.
So yeah, I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a good rest of your decade. I'm a big fan. I really like talking with movies with you guys, and I really cannot wait to do this again. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good Christmas and a great New Year and a great Valentine's Day and Easter. Rest of the holidays coming up in the next future. See you guys later.
I'll probably see you for one of those, but you know.
Yeah.
So if you guys are excited for 1917 overall, like I said, it does come out on Christmas Day, although it's not going to come worldwide until January, unfortunately, because I guess that the studio just hates us like that. They don't want us to have the privilege of getting to see this when everyone else will, but whatever. We go through this every single year. This is definitely a film that I'm very excited for, so look forward to it then. But now, guys, we get to the last 2 films for December, which these last 2 films we're going to be talking about, both with Auburn Wanderer, are very, very similar in that way. The first one being Just Mercy.
They convicted an innocent man. I was always taught to fight for the people who need the help the most. You don't know what it is down here. They ain't got to have no evidence.
How many of you all were with Walter that morning?
You ain't quitting, is you? No, sir. We all with you.
So, remember before when I talked about how the 2 popes looked like it was going to be kind of Oscar baity, but not the exact definition? Yeah, that's because of this film. This, to me, seems like the textbook definition of an Oscar baity type of film. This looks so fucking boring, and I get this trailer so much in the theaters, and I'm just so sick of it at this point. And look, I've said it before, courtroom dramas are not usually my jam, but they've been really fucking good lately, and this just seems like it's going to be a very generic one. Look, I love Michael B. Jordan. I'm hearing Jamie Foxx is like excellent in this film, which I'm sure he is because he's a really great actor. But this just looks insanely boring to me. I don't really care about this story. It seems like one of those films that is probably going to get some praise, but I'm just not really going to feel much. I mean, maybe it's going to surprise me, but I don't know. Every single time I see this trailer, it just really bores the hell out of me, and I just don't. This seems like one of those films that either is going to get some Oscar love or it's going to be shut out entirely. Like it's going to be one of those films that like is really pushing for Oscars, and I don't really know if it's going to have that much of a chance of getting in there because it doesn't really seem like it's doing that much of anything interesting. It doesn't seem like a film that really interests me all that much, and just in general, it really seems like one of those courtroom dramas that I just don't really care that much about.
I think this looks good. I do. I think it looks really good, actually. I mean, yeah, it's Oscar bait, but I mean, listen, I just don't care. Like, I don't really care, to be honest, because I think it looks really interesting. I mean, you got fucking Michael B. Jordan, Jamie Foxx. I mean, that duo right there, that's going to be super, super interesting to watch because those are 2 fantastic actors.
Right. And that is the thing that I am interested in for sure.
Yeah. So, I still have to see Ray. I don't know why I haven't seen that yet, but
I haven't either.
Yeah, but I gotta see that before this, obviously. But just because Jamie Foxx, but like that pair, that duo is gonna have like a lot of like Archer and Charlie. They look like they have really good chemistry, and like it's like kind of like this kind of like relationship that is like built like like the building on trust for it, and I know it just like like showing like the relationship with like inmates and like this lawyer like trying to like help people on death row out that are fairly on there, for crimes that don't deserve a death row punishment. Brie Larson, looks good. I mean, her accent's a little bit, whatever, but
it's not that great.
Yeah, but she'll probably be good because she's a good actress. Yeah, I mean, I think all the courtroom stuff looks really interesting as well. And yeah, I mean, I think this looks really good. Like, Thank you, thank you, Clock, for your interruption. But you know, like the one scene where he goes to visit like the family, that seems like that's gonna be a really, you know, good moment. You know, building on like the character, Jamie Foxx's character, and like, you know, what makes like him human, because like, you know, there's like, you know, this stereotype that like these inmates, you know, they're not like human like the rest of us, you know, but you know, I think it will explore like, you know, like the, you know, the prison type issues and stuff as well. And I mean, yeah. So I think it looks good. I hope I can go see it in theaters, and yeah.
So Just Mercy overall, if you guys are looking forward to it, it does come out on December 25th, although it is not going to expand worldwide until January 10th. So if you guys really want to see it, that's when it is going to be expanding. So look forward to it then. All right, guys, so this is it, the final movie I'm going to be discussing for a movie preview in this decade, and it's a film that I'm definitely very excited for, once again with Auburn Wanderer to talk about, and that is Clemency.
How do you keep doing it?
I do my job.
These next 24 hours are crucial. Anthony's defense attorney has already asked for a reprieve from the governor's office.
You want to play this good guys and bad guys. And I'm one of the bad guys. I give these men respect. All the way through.
All right, so Clemency overall, oddly enough, is yet another film about death row and things like that. However, unlike the last film we talked about, this one looks way more interesting to me. Like, I'm much more excited for this film because this seems like it's more my style. It's much less of a courtroom drama and more about this woman that has been this warden for a long time. She's seen a lot of death rows happening, and it's really affected her in that way. And you know, this new inmate comes along and she really starts to feel this connection to him, and she's trying to do what she can to like prevent him from being on death row. And it seems like it's going to be really powerful. And Alfre Woodard, I mean, I think she's one of the most understated actresses working today. I don't know how she doesn't have like some kind of Oscar at this point, because I truly do think she is that good. Pretty much everything she's in, I think she really does excel. And it seems like that's absolutely going to be the case here. I think she's going to give one of her best performances in this film for sure. I don't know if she's going to get Oscar nominated, but I mean, from the looks of the trailer, it definitely seems like she's worthy of one, and I've heard many people say that she is worthy of one, so I'm excited to see how that turns out. Aldous Hodge, I think, is a really good actor as well. I'm excited to see how he is here, and just in general, this seems like a really interesting and very compelling film, having this woman that is Black, you know, watching other people that also are, you know, people of color being put to death, and her trying to stop this other, you know, guy from having the same fate and things like that. It just seems like it's going to be a very brutally realistic, you know, look at this very harrowing occupation and what it really does do to her psychologically. And just in general, it's one that I am very, very excited for sure. I really hope this is one that I do get to see with this man right here, because I think this seems like a film that I really do want to see before the year ends, and I hope it really does deliver in the way that I think it can.
Yeah, hopefully we get it, because they actually already screened it in Boston earlier in the month, but it was a part of like their fall focus thing. But I don't go to those.
Hopefully that's an indication that we'll get it.
I don't go to those screenings because like the seating I can get isn't the best. But so
well, that's your own fault.
Fuck you. Okay, I love the bridal, but yeah. Listen. Okay. This looks really fucking good. Like, really fucking good. Like, this film looks very emotionally intense and very focused. Mm-hmm. And it looks like a very unnerving type of film at points, you know, like, you know, having to deal with an occupation like this and the unsureness of it, because like you basically have to decide someone's fate. And that's horrifying.
Right.
And how it affects your relationship with your husband, for example, and your coworkers. It just like it looks really fucking good. So Neon Man, like, gosh, they have this Parasite, Portrait of a Lady on Fire, like
they're
they
killing
it. They're nice. So
they're very nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I hope we see this in theaters as well. Hope we got to. And yeah. Thank you so much for having me on, Kevin. I appreciate you having me on for the 1 trillionth time. It's pretty crazy that this is our final movie preview of the fucking decade. Like I said in my intro, it's fucking insane, man. A lot of great memories doing this. I really appreciate you letting me on to this. Just for being friends with me for so long, and well, that's that, y'all. Merry fucking Christmas and happy fucking New Year, even though you'll see me again on Kevin's channel because he's coming down again. Yeah.
Hey, but we're not reviewing Mr. Robot because this man is a piece of
Okay, you know what? Maybe I will catch up now because you're threatening me about it. Okay, fuck you.
Good.
Okay, but
it's literally the best show on TV right now, so you should.
Okay, well, I love all of you except for Kevin. Fuck him, and I hope y'all have a good start to your new year. And yeah.
So Clemency, if you guys are looking forward to it, it does come out on December 27th, actually, not the 25th, because they just got to make things complicated like that. But it does come out then, so hopefully it definitely ends up, again, being a hidden gem in that way. And with that, guys, we have made it to the end. Once again, just like last year, this year, as usual, has completely flown by. This decade in general has completely flown by. But, yeah, so that's it for the 2010s decade. I want to thank all you guys for sticking with me throughout all these years. I started doing these movie previews back in, well, since this channel's inception, pretty much, and they were pretty terrible. And then they've gotten progressively better, I think, as the years have gone on, starting off with just, Auburn Wanderer, and then I started to get a lot more people come in, and now I think it's one of the most successful segments on my entire channel, and a lot of that really is due to not just how much I've improved, I think, overall, but how much entertainment and fun all of my guests really do add. So to everyone in this video, Auburn Wanderer, Jackson Fulcher, Adam Haskell, Film Fan 599, Timothy Anderson, Cam Wade, 22 Tiger Dude, and even people that couldn't join me, like Diego Coya, all of you guys are fantastic. I always appreciate what you guys bring to this, gang, to hear your opinions and your views on all these films. Always does bring me joy for sure, and I am eternally grateful to have all of you on here, and I don't think that these movie previews would be the same without all of you guys being on here. I think it really is a collective effort in that way, and that's something that I really do hope to continue going into the new decade for sure, and I hope continues to be a mainstay on my channel. And I know there were some circumstances this year that were just completely out of my control, like the death of Google Hangouts and then moving to Skype and then finally making the other transition to StreamYard. But I thank you guys for just being able to roll with the punches because, trust me, it was definitely just as annoying for me. I didn't like having to change things up as much as I did, but you know what? I did it, and movie preview is a segment that I hope to never end on my channel. It's something I really do love doing. And again, not just because of the fact that I love movies, but that I get to talk about it with some of my closest friends, and we get to share our opinions and things like that. Just always been a very fun and one of my most one of my favorite things I do here on this channel, and it's something that I hope to continue to live on going into the new year. Once again, this has been a much better year for movies than anticipated for sure, and I really do hope that this month does close things out pretty strongly. I think it will for the most part. But either way, guys, for this movie preview, let me know what you guys thought of this, of all the movies coming out in December. Which movies are you guys most looking forward to? All that kind of stuff. Once again, thank you guys for sticking with me throughout this entire year. And of course, this isn't the last video or anything of this year, but it is the last movie preview of this entire decade. So thank you guys for sticking with me this long. But that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you guys in my next video, and we'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye. I can't wait to hear Michael Giacchino's score as well. I always really do appreciate what he has to do, what he brings to this, films. I think he's one of the best composers out there right now for sure. And just overall, I think this looks like oh shit. I'm fucking stupid. It's Alexander Desplat.
Good job, Kevin. Wow, way to be
consistent. What?
All right, let me fix that real quick. All right.
Kevin just mixed up the music composer for Little Women.
You fucking idiot.
All right.
hopefully, but also in some ways, maybe for people that have gone through divorces like this, or children of divorce, maybe that can also kind of relate to what's going on with the parents. Hopefully, maybe give them some catharsis too about what's going on. Like, you know, tragedy can be like the best catharsis for some people. I think he's going to really capture this kind of moment in time for a lot of people very well, and very heartbreaking, but realistically so. And the score by Alexander Desplat. Oh my gosh, it already sounds so great. Oh wait, sorry, I meant Michael Giacchino. Man, the music already sounds so wonderful.
Shut the fuck up.
The score by Randy Newman.
All right, so next up is just Jackson and I. So goodbye and goodbye. All right, you're here finally.
Yeah.
What's so funny? What's so funny?
Nothing.
Fuck you. All right.
Sorry.
What is so funny?
Sorry.
Oh God, what did you post? What did you post? What the fuck did you post?
I didn't do anything.
I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you. I really hate you.
Hey, did you say Florence Pugh in that last section?
Fuck you.
Ever told you how how amazing Florence Pugh is, and how many are after Florence Pugh? And
yeah, okay. We don't need to get into that. We're talking in fabric right now. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Okay. All right, Jackson, just breathe. Let's talk about in fabric. All right. So